Previously on Marvel Vision.
No, they're little tiny green balls. It's got like a very salty, bitter taste. It's like pickled.
And now, this week's Marvel Vision.
Hello, and welcome to Marvel Vision, a Marvel Studios TV show podcast brought to you by Cinema Sangha. My name is Devin Fracci. I am one of the hosts of this program. Joining me, as he traditionally does...
My name is Derek Fracci, making lemons from lemonade for 40 years. How are you, Devin?
I am okay. You wish it was 40 years, buddy.
Well, the first 8 years were good.
Oh, boy. Diane Keaton died.
She did.
She did die. Very sad. Diane Keaton, really one of the best. I'm not like traditionally one of those people who does like, oh, this one hurts. I actually have a friend of mine who on his Instagram stories keeps track of people who post, this one hurts.
It's one of my favorite things.
This one hurts?
Yeah.
Saying that or people saying that?
People saying that.
Yeah, it's really great. It's like, it implies that other deaths don't hurt. Like that only this death hurts. But also like, you know, it's funny because I don't usually get sad when people die old. Yeah. She's 79, you know, and that's a pretty okay age. It's not like people today do often live longer than that, especially women. But I do feel sad. I do feel sad that she went because she seemed like she was still doing it, you know? She seemed like she still had it going on.
That's the thing that was very shocking.
What's that?
To see that she died. It was like, oh, goodness. Like, yeah. Because it just, I think I've said this before, there's certain people you just never consider the idea that they will one day die. Yeah. And Diane Keaton's one of them. Like, not like I was like, she's an immortal, but it just never crossed my mind.
Yeah, you don't think about it, yeah.
Yeah. And then, because she, for her age, seemed very vibrant and running around, and then dead.
Yeah.
So.
Very sad.
You know.
Rest in peace, Diane Keaton. This year, we just passed John Lennon's birthday, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast.
Though, so that's good.
I've talked about this in the podcast before. Years ago, somebody who I know, not very well, but like well enough that we follow each other on Instagram, had posted for John Lennon's birthday, maybe it was his death day, rest in piss, John Lennon. And I was like, that's so fucking intense. That's so funny. Rest in piss is so funny. And it's like so intense. And that was like an in-joke. For longer than this person's been alive.
35 years? 36
yeah, longer than this person's been alive. Like, I do think that rest in piss, I think, is reserved for people who died in your lifetime. And if it's outside your lifetime, we're talking like Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, but that was like a good in-joke between me and Brittany was rest in piss. We would always say rest in piss. Yeah. And every time somebody dies and I type R.I.P., I always go right to rest in piss. I do not want Diane Keaton to rest in piss. Yeah.
One of my favorite things I've ever seen is, it was on Twitter very, very long ago, where someone's mother texted them to say that their grandmother passed away, and they wrote, "Grandma's gone, LOL," because they thought LOL meant lots of love. I've always loved that. Like, Grandma's gone. Ha, ha, ha.
That's so fucking great. Yeah. That's so great. Oh, man. All right. We got any news this week? I think we got a lot of news this week.
We got a fair amount of news, so we can jump into it.
Okay.
Swamp Thing will finally meet Jesus.
Nice.
Coming up. This comes from back in 1989. There was a 4-issue storyline written by Rick Veitch about Swamp Thing.
Did you look it up since last night, or no? You still?
I did. I have an article about it and stuff.
But I'm saying Veitch, the name.
Oh, the name, no.
You're just still winging it. Okay.
Yeah.
Veitch.
Hey, you know what, Rick? If I'm saying it wrong, come on the show. Let us know. Yeah, but it was supposed to be Swamp Thing issues 88 through 91. DC decided to cancel this storyline before the first issue came out. The first issue was done, written, drawn, all done, ready to go, and they canceled it. They're like, we're not going to have Swamp Thing hang out with Jesus. Not a great idea right now. But now in April, it will come out, all 4 issues. Some interesting things about it. The first issue was completely what was originally written and drawn.
Right.
Since that
Michael
time,
Zulli passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Zulli passed away, so other artists will be doing the next 3 parts. But this printing, they're going to number it 88 through 91. They're going to use the traditional trade dress from that time.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they're trying to find out if they can use the ads from that time instead of running current day ads.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Or like maybe at the least like try to well, you know what, actually I wonder if that one of the reasons why they want to do that is because they're worried that some of their advertisers don't want to be in the Swamp Thing meets Jesus storyline.
It's possible.
Especially with the I'm surprised they're going for it in this current environment, frankly.
Yes.
I'm just very surprised. So I'm excited to read it. You know, we got cut off. We were recording this yesterday, and we got cut off with the technical difficulties again. But I think we might have solved those. And I was saying that this news had driven me back to the beginning of Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing, which Rick Veitch picked up from. And something I wanted to say was that it was really interesting to read Moore's first issue because it comes at the end of a big storyline where Dr. Arcane dies, like Swamp Thing's big villain. And today, like when you switch over creative teams, they just start from like scratch essentially. Like they just like, that is not what Alan Moore is doing. He's doing an epilogue to that story. Yeah. And I think that's really fascinating. Like I think that's really, really fascinating. And I wish that more creative teams would do that. Like actually create continuity between the fucking story, between the teams.
Yeah, they used to do that all the time.
I know, like, it's fun to go back and look at it, you know?
Like it's so like on Flash, when Bill Messner-Loebs took over Flash from Mike Barron, Mike Barron's last storyline was Vandal Savage created a drug called Velocity 9 that gave people super speed, and the storyline was essentially done, right? They stopped Vandal Savage, yada, yada, yada. But the first, like, 3 or 4 issues of Bill Messner-Loeb's run was Flash dealing with the after effects of that. There were still people out there on V9, and he's got to go and find them. You know, he's in the hospital himself. He got dosed with it, and it's messing with his powers. And it was all this kind of stuff. It was very interesting. It's a very fun way to do it, you know, I think. But now, now they usually, the storyline, the writer that's leaving ends by destroying the city, and then the next storyline starts, and they're like, we built a new city. It's all better now, and they move on.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading Nightwing, and I started with Tom Taylor's run, and in Tom Taylor's run, Nightwing gets a dog. He gets a 3-legged dog, whose name Bitewing or Haley. Those are the 2 names for the dog. And when his run ended, spoilers, he got the dog shot in the chest. And I was like, is he killing the fucking dog at the end of his run? Like, he doesn't want anybody else. But I was like, there's a moment I was like, what the fuck? This dog just got shot. But the dog survives. And when I picked up when I started reading the next issue with the new creative team, I was like, are they going to write this dog out? And as of what I'm up to, they have not written the dog out. And I'm glad because, like, it's a good bit to have him have this dog. Yeah. But the thing is that the next issue takes a little bit of the continuity of Taylor's run. It has the characters, like his sister is the mayor of Bloodhaven at this point. He's with Barbara Gordon romantically. And it picks up on the idea that after Blockbuster, the kingpin of Bloodhaven, died, that there's like a gap in the underworld. And then, which I think is good, but then what he does is he fills that gap with a bunch of weird ass gangs that never appeared in a Nightwing comic ever before, and I'm like, where did these guys come from? Like, this is
it's common.
I'm just like, but it kind of irritates me a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm like, like I introduced a new gang, but also have a couple of things that carry over. Yes. But you know, what are you gonna do?
I mean,
but that's actually
now
better.
Everything has to be for
trade oriented, yes. And the story has to end, and the new story has to begin, because DC especially likes renumbering trades at the beginning of runs.
Of new stories,
Yeah, Marvel loves doing that on the floppies. They love doing that, but DC likes renumbering in the trades.
Which Marvel loves to just start a new storyline or start a new run in the middle of storylines.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah,
back to number one.
Yeah, they definitely do that. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. Although some of the storylines in Marvel have been lasting a lot longer than I expected, including the Spider-Man in space storyline.
Yeah,
which is going to go on for a bunch more months. Yeah. Because Spider-Man's in space. I'm assuming they put him in space so he could take part in Imperial, the big space crossover. And on Earth, Norman Osborn has taken up the Spider-Man mantle. But they're keeping that going much longer than I expected.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
we'll see.
Comics.
Speaking of Marvel, we'll do a couple comic book specific stories here.
Sure.
Marvel is steadfast in the concept that their current Ultimate Universe will end in 2026.
It has to. That was part of the deal with Hickman.
Yes.
Because Hickman was unhappy with how things turned out with Krakoa, and Marvel dragged it out much longer than he intended to. Yeah. And so part of his deal was, I need to finish on this. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen after that? These books sell. So yes, I'm assuming that they're going to come back in some way, that maybe the end of this storyline will reshape the Ultimate Universe one more time. But yeah, the story that's been being told is definitely coming
to a close.
Yeah, and that's people on Reddit are like, they're never going to do that. How stupid is Marvel to do that? It's like, well, that's the deal they made. Like, they made a deal to do 3 years of this shit. Like, that's the story.
But, it's not uncommon for comic book publishers to make a deal with a writer and then be like, "No, we're not going to do that anymore."
My understanding is that Hickman really wrote this into his contract.
Yeah.
Like, they have to. Like, this storyline has to end. Obviously, Ultimate and these characters are theirs. They can do whatever they want with it coming out of that. But these versions, at least, like, specifically, and this world that he has built is going to go away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I think it's cool. I think it's nice. I mean, I think it's really neat. And they made a hint that the Marvel and Ultimate Universe are going to be more aligned. So, Jonathan Hickman did a crossover to change Marvel's continuity. The only thing that changed was that Miles Morales came to 616, and now he's doing another crossover with the Marvel Universe with Ultimates, and that's bringing Miles Morales back to the Ultimate Universe.
Amazing.
It's like if Crisis any Crisis story only existed to kill a Flash. Like that, there was nothing else that changed at the end of it. They just killed another Flash.
That's it.
Well, I got some schmutz on this thing. Look at this schmutz. Now I changed my setup a little bit so you could see it on the camera. It's upsetting me. Okay, what else we got?
DC has announced a bunch of shocking crossovers, I would say. One of them being Swamp Thing is Killing the Children, which is a Swamp Thing, Something is Killing the Children crossover, which is pretty interesting. That's fun. And then DCKO is going to have characters from other comic books showing up, like other comic book companies showing up.
Right.
Including the main character from, what's the name of the comic? I totally forgot now. Well, one of them is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. That's not a comic book, but he's
Vampirella.
Red Sonja, Annabelle.
Homelander,
and then why doesn't it say? The main character from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which is a serial killer bear. So very weird.
This is tapping into a concept that is called the Omniverse, which is that all fictional realities exist, and they exist on different planes of existence. So, like, that's the way that you play that. It is weird, and it speaks to what we talked about on Bad Batch. One of my problems with KO is that the stakes are so high and this shit is so silly. Yeah. And bringing in Annabelle to fight the superheroes is okay. Like, it's really weird. Like, imagine if that's how Crisis worked. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would be really strange. Like, if Strawberry Shortcake showed up in Crisis, like, it would just be too bizarre. And I think that I think they should have had a sillier premise for KO, and then all of this would feel fun.
Can I tell you my theory?
What's that?
Well before KO got announced, there were a lot of rumors going around that Marvel and DC were doing a crossover, which is now out. At least the first part. The Deadpool Batman came out. Batman Deadpool comes out soon. They announced that they're doing Superman Spider-Man next year. My theory is Scott Snyder pitched KO as the Marvel DC crossover, where it would be not unlike the one that they did in the 90s. Some kind of entity brings the universes together and is like, you guys have to fight it out to decide which universe survives.
Right.
You know, and then sure enough, at the end, Captain America and Superman would save the day and both universes survive or whatever, right? Like that kind of thing. That's my theory on how this started. And that's why now they're just tossing in other characters from other comic companies because they're like, we can make deals with these people. You know, let's see if Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson will let us use Homelander. You know, that character who started off in a comic book that DC was publishing, and then we dropped it because they did things with their Batman version that we didn't like. And now it's a gigantic TV show and stuff. So let's see if we can get Homelander in here.
I will say I do want to see Homelander versus Superman. I mean, I can't deny, like, as a dork, like, this is the Mighty Mouse versus Superman argument from Stand By Me. You know what I mean? Like, I wanna see who wins.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman's gonna win, but like,
of course, yeah.
Imagine if Homelander killed Superman.
That would be wild. And then Homelander just becomes Superman in the DCU. That'd be wild.
Oh man.
Yeah. But yeah, the weirdest one to me is the character from Samantha from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
I think Annabelle's the weirdest one.
No, although because Annabelle is Warner Brothers.
So it's all connected.
So it connects. But like literally, this character is a serial killer in a world of talking animals, and then it like, is she gonna fight Green Arrow? Like I don't know.
She'll fight villains.
I guess maybe. I don't know.
It's worth noting that characters will die in this event, and it won't matter because they already killed a significantly huge character in the first issue.
Yeah, and they say in the first issue, "Oh, it's all going to revert. Don't worry about it." So
yeah, they just definitely right out say like none of this matters. Like,
yeah, it's all just fun. Is pretty much what they say.
But again, that's why the whole premise that they're fighting to make sure that Darkseid doesn't take over the whole universe. The stakes are just so high that this fun it just feels like weird. You know, it just doesn't.
I guess. I mean, we talked about this on Bad Batch a bit, but neither of us really liked that first issue.
No.
But I appreciate the overall concept of like we're just gonna have the heroes fight.
No, I love that.
You know.
It's just that they've spent a year establishing that Darkseid is going to take over the universe. We've seen the Absolute universe where Darkseid has taken over and created the universe in his image, and it's real bad and it's real dark.
Which is what I thought DCKO was going to be as well. Was the Absolute characters?
Don't the Absolute characters show up at the end?
Maybe.
I think that's their legs, isn't it? Of the Trinity.
I didn't think that was them. Was it?
No. I don't know. I thought it was, but I guess we'll find out next issue of KO.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. What's our next comic book news?
Comic book news adjacent. The Harvey Awards were last night at New York Comic Con, and Superman won Best Adaptation of a Comic Book.
Good for him. Good for James Gunn. They must have voted on that before they watched the Peacemaker series finale.
Well, Peacemaker's not Superman, is it? It's two different things.
I know, but still, you're like, oh man. Jesus.
That's it for the comic book news. Now on to what we normally cover. X-Men 97 Season 2 will be coming out in summer 2026. It's been renewed for a third season, so we'll be getting more of that. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will be coming out, Season 2 will be coming out fall 2026. No mention of another season for that at this point. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The new season of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will have Venom. He's going to show up. Gwen Stacy's going to show up. So they're moving around. They're doing stuff.
Good. I'm glad. I really love that first season.
Yeah, it was really good.
Venom shows up at the end of the first season, right? The symbiote.
The symbiotes show up.
Yeah, so like that was obvious that Venom was going to be in this season. I think it was really, really good. I thought it was really, really well done. And I thought that it played with Marvel lore in a fun way. And I absolutely enjoyed it every single week. I thought it was cool looking. I just loved it every single week.
Great.
I'm excited.
Designs, I thought. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. James Gunn said that he and Ryan Reynolds discussed having Deadpool show up in the Peacemaker finale, but it would be too many hurdles to jump over to make that happen, so it did not end. Also, that's all anyone would talk about if that happened.
I mean,
based on the talk that's happening, he maybe wishes he had done that.
He maybe wishes he had done that. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, maybe that would have been his best move. Would have been to throw a Deadpool in there and make people excited. Man, you know what? Man, we'll talk about this more in the episode recap, but I think I did not agree with our Discord friends that James Gunn talks too much until this week.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, he's got to shut up. Like, he's got to shut up. He created unreasonable expectations for these final 3 episodes, and he's got to shut up.
I am very much looking forward to the next year of DC in that it's all projects that he did not write or direct.
Yeah, but the thing is that Lanterns ties into his big story, he said.
The way he said it says that it doesn't. Because he said, oh, Lanterns ties into it. You may not notice how, but it does. All right, so it may, like, it does in that they're all good. You know, Guy Gardner's going to show up. Like, yeah, but like, I don't think that it's going to be a massive crossover piece to it. You know.
Did you hear the big rumor about Lanterns?
What?
That the reason why John and Hal come to Earth, they're both Green Lanterns, I guess, out in space all the time. They come to Earth because Alan Scott gets murdered.
I've heard that, yeah.
And that in this version, Alan Scott will be a Green Lantern, not a magic guy. Which, I mean, makes sense because that's just too confusing, I think. It's just.
I mean, even in the comics, after a while, they were like, no, he's powered by the same thing as them, but it's like an earlier version called the Starheart or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yes, he wears green and purple more than, or green, red, and purple more than, or, you know, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. I think it's a really interesting premise, honestly.
Yeah, that could be cool. That could be cool.
I mean, the only thing that I think is a bummer is that Alan Scott is gay now, and I think it would have been cool to have. But then again, Alan Scott is sort of in that Jay Garrick space where you're like, okay, like.
I mean, I would love to see the Justice Society in live action, but I want them to be in the 1940s. I don't like in the comics that the Justice Society is still running around. I think it's real goofy that you know, Wildcat just recently died in the comics, and it's like, well, I guess he's 112. It was probably time for him to die. He shouldn't have been fighting supervillains anymore. You know, like, you know, he had no powers. He was a guy who was
a boxer.
Boxing.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like if Mike Tyson was 112 running the streets.
Yeah, you know, and I don't, you know, I love these characters. I love the Justice Society characters, but I like the idea that they are in the 40s and 50s,
right?
You know, and then it's comic books. You want to do a crossover, they travel through time and stuff like that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's really.
But
easy.
Having them still be around, I think, is goofy at this point. You know, so I'd like especially. They've come up with excuses for some of them, like oh well, you know, Alan Scott, the Starheart keeps him from aging as fast as he should. Okay, I guess. Jay Garrick, the Speed Force keeps him from aging for some reason.
That makes no sense.
Makes no sense. And also, what's keeping his wife alive?
His dick.
I guess.
He's pumping her full of that Speed Force jizz.
There you go. I guess so. Because there's nothing else that should be keeping Joan Garrick alive. But she's still out there. We also got our first look at Daredevil Season 2, which is a picture of Daredevil.
Yes, but it's actually an important picture of Daredevil.
Yes.
He has the double D's on his chest.
Yes.
I can't believe it took 5 seasons of television to get to that, to putting his fucking logo on his goddamn chest.
The most Surf Dracula of all. You know.
It's so crazy. Yeah. And it's like not even a crazy logo. You know what I mean? Like it's his fucking initials. Like that's easy. You know? Like and if the argument is
goes by Daredevil in the shows? Don't they always just call him the Devil of Hell's Kitchen?
I think they might just call him the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. I think they might, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they've ever called him Daredevil out loud. They might have at some point. Yeah, they might have at some point. But that's a show that is steeped in the embarrassment of the source material.
Yeah.
So you know that's what's going on there. But I was really glad to see it. It looks good. It looks like Daredevil. Like that's just like, you know what? Like I can deal with all the rest of like the sort of more tactical look on him. Just give me those D's.
Yeah.
Just give me those D's.
Those double D's.
Give us those double D's, baby.
On his chest. Yep.
It is streaming. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Daredevil is trans now.
By the way, that's going to premiere in March 2026.
Yes.
So as you can see, we're going to have a very busy Marvel 2026, as it turns out. Foggy Nelson is also coming back for season 2, according to Brad Winderbaum.
Yeah, we knew that was happening.
So, yep.
Yeah, I hate that he faked his death. I hate it.
Well, is it he faked his death, or is it that it's flashbacks? I'm hoping for flashbacks.
I bet he faked his death.
I'll allow him faking his death if they just kill him. Like he shows up, he's like, I faked it, and then he just gets killed instantly. And like they do a Maria Hill thing where every episode we get to see him die again and again and again.
I will say that he did fake his death in the comics. So
Yes.
they're taking a comic book story. It's not a great comic book story. And I don't love the death fake, especially with a guy like Daredevil, who, I mean, you can fool him, but like it should be pretty hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm willing to bet that he's going to be alive.
Well, we'll see. The cast of Vision Quest has been announced. It's Paul Bettany as Vision, no surprise there. Henry Lewis as Dummy, which is Tony Stark's little hand robot that he built when he was a kid. I guess it's going to take human form. Jonathan Sayer as You. I don't know who that is.
It's the other robot.
Oh, it's the other robot.
Dummy
okay.
and You are the two robots that Tony Stark has.
Okay. James Darcy as Jarvis. Orla Brady as Friday. Emily Hampshire as Edith. James Spader as Ultron. And I'm
Do it. He's Irish too. This is an Irish name, so fucking you have to get it right.
No, I don't.
Just do your best.
Rudrick Malika. I don't know. As Tommy.
Tommy is Speed,
Yes.
the brother of Wiccan, who we met in Agatha all along. A couple of important points. Jarvis was from Agent Carter, and it's going to be that Jarvis. It's not going to be Vision is the other Jarvis, but it is Jarvis with a J.A.R.V.I.S. So it is that. So he's not living. It won't be the living version of a Jarvis.
Yeah, they're all AI characters.
I mean, they could be all life model decoys or something like that, or androids or something. I mean, that's totally reasonable. That makes a lot of sense. It seems like you don't.
But what I'm saying is they're all artificial intelligence.
Yeah, they're all artificial intelligence. Edith is the one that was from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Friday was the Iron Man.
Why? I really want to know why Jennifer Connelly's not coming back to play Edith.
I mean, I'm assuming that's because these characters are going to appear in person. And she doesn't do a ton of acting on screen.
I mean, she's Paul Bettany's wife.
No, I know, but I think the thing is that they have like kids and shit.
She just had a TV show that was on for like 4 years.
Oh, maybe she's done working. She doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't know what the fuck Jennifer Connelly's doing anymore. I should. I really had such a big crush on her back in the day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't want to be on set with his wife all the time.
Gets in the way of doing coke with Johnny Depp.
Exactly, and texting about killing Johnny Depp's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Jesus, those texts. Man, those texts. Jesus Christ. Like, I know those texts are just like
Blown off steam
goofball jerk,
stuff, yeah.
goofball, like guys on drugs, but like it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, ugh. The other thing to note is that they have announced that this show is the conclusion of a trilogy that's WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and Vision Quest.
Yes.
So my big question is, that trilogy will conclude. We're going to have both sons from WandaVision as teenagers. My big question is, are they setting up a Vision and Scarlet Witch movie?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Because it seems like this can't be where it ends, because you're never going to have the whole family together.
Yeah.
I just feel like that can't be where it ends.
I mean, Marvel, I think, is really not interested in following up stuff. So they're just trying to get to the X-Men. That's all Marvel's trying to do. Is get
Jeff
to the
Snyder
X-Men.
says X-Men is May 2028.
Yes, I saw that.
I believe that's probably true.
That seems very plausible.
Yeah, it seems exactly where you want to put it. If Secret Wars is 2027, yeah, you want to put X-Men the next year. That makes
And especially if it's
sense.
May, right? Because Secret Wars is December 2027. Yeah. That's the perfect time to put out the first trailer. You know, attach it to Secret Wars. There you go.
Big rumor is that the Doomsday trailer is going to be one of 2 post-credit scenes on the new Spider-Man.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense. That actually makes and I think that's almost what they should have almost been doing in a lot of these things sometimes.
I mean, that's what they did with Avengers, right? At the end of Captain America, they had the Avengers trailer. Didn't they do
I think
that?
they had some kind of a trailer. Yeah, I think so. It makes sense. And I don't know if you have this news item, but speaking of Spider-Man, Brad Winterbaum said that Daredevil season 2 was working close, and I guess season 3 is working closely with Spider-Man to make sure that everything lines up.
Yeah, I don't have that news item because he was like, we're just making sure everything lines up. But, the way Daredevil acts or Punisher acts in a Daredevil comic is different from how he acts in a Spider-Man comic. And it's like, it's the same as James Gunn being like, Green Lantern is, Lanterns really connects to what's going on, but you may not notice it. It's just, no, we're all talking and making sure that, I don't think Spider-Man 4 is going to have him be like, it was really weird that the Kingpin declared martial law on Manhattan, and nobody was like, hey, you can't do that, and they didn't send in anybody.
My assumption is that storyline ends at the end of Born Again Season 2, because that was supposed to be one season of television, and so my assumption is that storyline ends there, and that the Kingpin is no longer the mayor, and may not even be in play at all, which could lead to some of the stuff that we've been hearing about different gang stuff. Like, that makes a lot of sense. But that's a good connection, though. That's like, that's like a decent connection. Like, I don't need something really crazy.
That's the kind of connection I like.
Exactly, right. Yeah. So that's what I'm really hoping for. And there's been a lot of rumors that Charlie Cox is going to be making a cameo, and he did cancel 2 different convention appearances a week apart, which doesn't mean anything really, but
Well, for him, I bet he's kind of miffed about it because he canceled them. If he was going out there to film Spider-Man, he canceled them, and then Tom Holland got a concussion, and they had to shut down for 3 weeks. And he's
they might have just shot his stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that may be like a scene with Flash Thompson in the last Spider-Man, where he's obviously standing on a green screen out in the street, and it's because they couldn't make schedules work. That's the whole reason they did that. Like, it's not because they thought it would work. It was because they could not make these schedules work. And so I would not be surprised if we have something like that. Or it could be just Daredevil talking to Punisher.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they probably did still shoot shit while Holland was out. There's still second unit shit to shoot. There's still other characters. So I wouldn't be surprised if they shot stuff.
Yeah. So. We'll see. We'll find out soon.
We shall see.
And finally, last piece of news, they dropped 2 Wonder Man trailers in 2 days. One, I guess, was a teaser, and one is a full trailer. Yeah. And it looks pretty cool. It looks fun.
I'm really intrigued that the full trailer does not have anything about him getting superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah, they hint at it, kind of.
Yeah, they do, because so the premise here is that the dictator of Barovia survives his fall and becomes a filmmaker. And
that is the weirdest part, is when he showed up in the trailer. I was like, wait a minute. You can't, he's got the same hair.
They didn't even comb his hair. He just looks exactly the same. So funny.
And when he first shows up, it's like him doing an interview on a webcam. And I was like, he might have just recorded this on set for Superman. In his trailer. Yeah. I have no idea.
So he's rebooting the old Wonder Man movie, and which looks great. Like, that stuff looks really great, and it looks really fun. It has the original Wonder Man costume.
Yes.
In the old Wonder Man movie. He's rebooting it, and they're casting, and so R. Simon Williams hears about this and thinks this is the part he was born to play. The superhero stuff, as I understand it, comes in that this director apparently wants to make a real superhero to be in his movie.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to change the superhero movie game forever. And so that's my understanding of the premise. I think all those guys are gathered to get superpowers.
Yeah.
And I think maybe only Simon survives it, or only works on Simon or something. Maybe they become villains, you know what I mean? There's a really great part where Trevor Slattery's trying out for the role of Wonder Man, and he's just killing it in the casting, and one of the casting directors goes, I feel like I've seen this guy somewhere before. And the other one goes, I think he used to be a terrorist. It's very funny.
That was good.
But it really, the trailer really heavily leans on Hollywood more than anything else. There's no sense that, this could just be a comedy about people making superhero movies.
Yeah, which I'm all for. It looks fun.
And it is leaning on the idea that people are sick of superhero movies.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of fun within the Marvel Universe, because the idea of we have them all over the place, and now we also have them on our screens. Who cares? I think that's kind of a fun take on it. Because it does make sense in the 70s that superhero movies would be popping up, because they weren't all over the place. They were we had Captain America and a couple other characters that people might have known about, but they were not super present at that period. So I kind of like that there was a a vogue of superhero movies before the Avengers showed up, you know. And
Sure. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of fun. I'm curious to see it. A lot of the buzz is that this is the best Marvel TV show yet.
Okay.
It's one of the last Marvel TV shows that's made under the old system.
Yes.
This
yes,
and
which,
Vision Quest.
They were asked about that if, with the new plan of doing new seasons every year, does that include Wonder Man? And they were like, no. No. So.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. They said, we'll see if we'll do another season, how the show does, but no, because this was done in the old format. Which
It's a story, yeah.
It's a story. Well, more to it. They were kind of skirting around saying, like, the way we do the contracts now is vastly different. And so,
Yeah.
you know, for this, we'd have to pay everybody a lot more for another season.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But it's a good trailer. I'm excited.
It's a good trailer. I'm really excited about it. They've announced January 27th, so that actually helps us because we were just talking the other day about what we're going to do because we didn't know when that was coming because they moved it back to January from December, and that really blew our plans up a little bit for Marvel Vision. And I will announce now that we have decided next week we're going to do Marvel Zombies, and then after that we're going to do the HBO Watchmen.
Yes.
We're going to have an uninterrupted run of HBO Watchmen. We're not going to have to dip out for other stuff. As far as I know, I don't think anything else is going to... I mean, who knows? Sometimes they surprise you with shit.
Sure.
But that's the plan right now. But then that still leaves us a bunch of weeks until Wonder Man. And so Derek and I have been talking about how to fill that gap. We have some ideas. So we're going to try to keep this shit rolling and make it interesting. Although it sounds like we're going to have a lot to watch next year.
Yeah, I mean, we got Wonder Man in late January, right? Last week of January, that starts, which sounds like it's going to roll right into Daredevil, because it's 8 episodes, and Daredevil starts in March. So that probably, the Wonder Man ends the next week, Daredevil starts. Somewhere, sooner or later, is Vision Quest. They didn't give a date for that. But, what was it? X-Men is summer. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is fall. So they're filling it in.
And you missed, there's a Punisher special.
Oh, there's a Punisher special? I forgot about that,
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. See, the thing about Wonder Man, and my thought about having a Vision and Scarlet Witch movie, is that Wonder Man's so tied into their mythology that now that he exists, it feels like a bummer not to do that. You know what I mean? He's so tied into their mythology.
But his tie into their mythology does not exist in any of them.
I know, but like I think if they were planning all this better, it still could. Like, because Wonder Man's mind is the template for the Vision.
Yeah.
And so you could still do that because the Vision, as I talked about at New York Comic Con, has no emotions. He has taken the memories of the old Vision, but does not connect to them. And I think there's something interesting about the idea that, like, bringing in Wonder Man to create, like, bring that emotional element in, like, into his mind, so that there is a piece of Simon Williams inside the Vision, and that because that's always been an interesting love triangle in the comics because of how that plays out, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I also, you know, they didn't plan it that great, and
Nope.
so here we are.
We are where we are, and that's
All
it
right.
for news.
We got letters.
We got letters.
What do we got?
Richard M asks, I saw someone online state it was evil how James Gunn tricked kids into watching Peacemaker after the generally family-friendly Superman, like he got off on exposing children to the orgy scene from the season premiere. This got me wondering if Superman 2025 is the new Last Jedi, in that it broke the minds of dumb fans who will now argue everything in bad faith and kick and scream until they get their way. I think The Last Jedi is a better movie than Superman, but is it possible all the online crybabies get WB to pull a Cracker Barrel and rethink having James Gunn in charge of DC?
They will not win that fight. I will say that their brains were broken much earlier than this, that whatever DC did next, they were going to not like. You look at... somebody actually did this... there was like a Snyder guy who was doing a post on Twitter like, Sasha Calle is like a real Supergirl. This new one is garbage, you know. And then when you look back at his older tweets, he calls the Flash the Flush, and he thinks all the characters suck. And it's just because it's Snyder. So like they'll
Which
move.
it's not even by the time that movie.
No, but I'm saying that's the
Sasha
thing.
Calle was cast, Snyder was out.
But that's why he was calling it the Flush, because it wasn't Snyder. So he was mad at WB, like restore the Snyderverse. But they're going to keep moving the goalposts. Because as long as that stuff, I think they've made peace with the idea that like Flash and Black Adam are just like part of the Snyderverse. And so they want to go back to that. So they're going to keep moving the goalposts. No matter what DC did next, though, they were going to be mad about it.
Yeah.
Their brains have been broken since Justice League. Like, they have been just fundamentally broken. And they are all bad faith arguers, and they are all kind of mean and weird. Super weird, in fact. So they're real fucking weird, these people. So yeah, I think that as with all of these outrages around children's things, there's a right-wing element. That's how it was with Last Jedi. There was a big right-wing element, and here there's also a right-wing element because it's woke Superman and shit like that, you know.
I do. All that said, I do think I would not have minded if the first episode of Peacemaker opened with like Peacemaker giving a family warning, like, "Hey, this isn't for kids." Like,
I
like
totally agree.
Goofy like that, I wouldn't complain if they had done that. Because
I totally agree.
I do. If you were watching that first episode with your children after seeing Superman, if it took you to the orgy to figure out this was not for kids, there's something seriously wrong with you. Because it's the language and whatnot is there instantaneously, like right from the beginning, right? So, I think that would be a little much for you to not figure that out early.
Yeah, no. But what would have been actually fun was to have David Cornsweet and John Cena in costume. And David's like, all right, I'm passing the torch on to you, John. This is going to be family friendly, just like Superman, right? And Cena's like, oh no. And, something like that. I think that would have been a fun bit. I think it would have gotten buzz. I do agree that there needed to be like something up front. Like, it's not clear to parents what these things are, and they hear that it's a comic book thing, and they just
he was in Superman. We saw him in Superman in one go.
Yeah, his name is Peacemaker. It doesn't sound like the Punisher. Sounds like maybe that's even that. The truth is, most parents don't care about violence. It is the sexuality. That's what upsets most parents. Yeah. So,
but there you go. Charles Villanueva asks, during the pandemic, I somehow ended up a massive Hellboy diehard. Fell absolutely in love with the comics. I adore how folkloric and anthological they are. And, of course, Mignola's artwork. Curious what both of your takes are on Hellboy, thoughts on the live-action adaptation, including the new one last year, and the chances of a Watchmen episode one day.
You start.
I've never gotten much into Hellboy. No specific reason when it comes to the comics. I've never really read them. I have not seen the latest, the David Harbour Hellboy movie.
Yeah.
I did not see.
That puts you in good company. Nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Including me. I didn't see it either. So
I'm not a huge fan of the Del Toro Hellboy movies. If that's how the character is in the comics, I probably wouldn't like him that much. Because I find grumpy, complainy characters as your main character kind of tiresome. And that's what that character is in those movies. Again, I don't know how he is in the comics, but they were good-looking movies, and that scene with all the different monsters in like the street fair or the market in the second one is very cool, but it just never grabbed me. It never quite grabbed me.
I like the Del Toro movies a whole bunch. I did not see the new one. I have read the comics a bit. I've not read a ton of them. They're not. One of the problems is that unless you're willing to pirate, it's really challenging sometimes to like get into a comic that you aren't 100% certain about. And it's because you got to go buy trades and they're expensive. And you should do it, but like I always kind of am like a little wary about dropping $25 on something. I have read some of the earliest Hellboy stuff, like when it was coming out. I can't read comics on Hoopla. I actually never use Hoopla. It's a library
that's
thing?
probably why you can't read it. You never use it.
It's a library thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe. I should look into that, actually. I never think about the library. I have a library card, and I have a library within walking distance of my home. I never think about using it.
I think about it like once a month. I'm like, I should go to the library.
I'm really bad at returning the stuff. That's part of the reason why I don't think about it. So, but I like the Del Toro movies. In fact, I went on a solo set visit to Hellboy 2, and I was in the Troll Market. Oh. They built the entire Troll Market inside a fucking mine. So we went to a mine and down into a mine, and they had built this whole set, and it was all practical.
Wow.
So I was walking around, and it was big. It was like they built it in a way that Del Toro could bring his camera anywhere, that there was no sense that you had to like not shoot something. So it was totally immersive. It was like being in the world. It was incredible. It was unbelievable. And I absolutely fucking like it's one of my best memories like
Yeah.
of all time. Yeah, it was a pretty great couple of weeks because I had been in Ireland for a set visit for Your Highness, and then I had time in between that and Hellboy, and so I went from Dublin up to Northern Ireland on the train. No, I went from Northern Ireland down to Dublin on the train, and then I got flown over to Prague and did this solo set visit, which was, I mean, like that's always the dream, you know what I mean? Like to be like the only fucking person on that set visit, like that's like good
That's
shit.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and I will say that the really great experience on that one was this speaks ill of how I looked at the time, but we had been out drinking in the hotel bar, like with like because it was just me, so it was like me and like crew and stuff like that, and Guillermo and Selma Blair showed up, and she was already had a couple of drinks, I think, and she ran across the hotel lobby and jumped on me and wrapped her legs around my waist because she thought I was Guillermo.
Oh, there you go.
That's like one of those like, oh, I probably got to lose some weight, huh?
I sometimes think about the time in LA. This is before you moved out there. This is when you came to visit at one point, and we were in a diner, and people came up and asked for your autograph, thinking that you were Peter Jackson.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I went to lunch with Guillermo with my girlfriend at the time, and it was really nice. He brought like his sketchbook, and we got to look at all his sketches, and like we saw like his really earliest Pacific Rim sketches. It was really cool because he'd just been drawing robots to live inside of. Like that was like a thing that he was like obsessed with. And when we left, my girlfriend said the most correct thing about Guillermo del Toro that anybody has ever said. And she said, he's such a great guy. Like, he feels like he can always just pull a cookie out of his pocket to give to you. And I was like, yeah, that really sums up Guillermo del Toro really well, actually. Like, a pocket full of cookies that he's happy to share. Like, that really just sums it up. So, yeah.
He always seems like he's a very happy guy, and he's made some very, very good movies.
Yeah,
and,
I've been to Bleak House, to his little collector house. I've been there. Yeah. Yeah, when he was going to do The Hobbit, we talked about me becoming the caretaker over there.
Oh, wow.
Like living on the property.
That'd be crazy.
It would have been nuts. Yeah. I would have. They had like a back house that I would have lived in and just like kept an eye on the property and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, but then he didn't do it. He didn't end up. He went to New Zealand for a bunch of months to do Pre, and then it fell apart. But I also got to see all of his designs for The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Including the bridge movie that he was making, where he was given free reign to create new monsters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was going to do The Hobbit in one movie. They wanted two movies. They were going to do The Hobbit in one movie, and the second movie was going to be a bridge between Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And I think it was going to be Aragorn hunting Gollum, I think, which is what they're doing now over at New Line. So I think that was what the premise was, but he was creating new monsters for the world of Tolkien, which, I mean, like, was...
That's ballsy.
I mean, but you know what though? Honestly, like as large the possibility for that to backfire is, it would have been better than the trilogy of Hobbit movies they made.
Couldn't be worse.
Couldn't be worse. I've still never seen the third one.
It is hilarious.
I'm gonna have to sit down. One day I'm gonna sit down and watch all three in a row.
I think I have them all on my Voodoo.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to do it someday.
It is. The third one is like one of the most confusing movies I've ever seen. Because it's like, wait, what is happening? Why is all of this happening? Like, I don't understand. Where is Bilbo in all of this?
Well, he gets knocked out in the novel.
Yeah.
For the whole final battle, he's knocked out.
Yeah, he's barely in the third movie.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there was the thing, who plays him? Martin Freeman, right?
Yeah.
That Martin Freeman on set yelled at...
Well, I told you this. This is...
Jackson,
yeah. He said, are you plan on having any Hobbit in your Hobbit movie?
Yeah. It's wild.
Those movies kind of broke Peter Jackson, you know?
Yeah, he should not have made them.
No, he shouldn't have. I understand why he did.
He had to
because
keep an entire country
industry alive. Yeah, and also because he was afraid that Warner Brothers was good. Guillermo, he was happy with Guillermo taking over. I think he might have been afraid that they were going to make somebody else come in that he wasn't going to like, and he doesn't own that, so he couldn't stop them. And so, and then they added the third movie like late in the process, so that really hurt the whole thing too. Because when he first announced it was 2 movies, which even that felt like that's a little too much.
Insane.
But like 3 movies is totally fucking bonkers. And it's like making a trilogy of Goodnight Moon movies. Goodnight Moon 3, the final good night.
I was thinking about this the other day. It is amazing to me that no studio, and I would imagine it would be Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers has the rights to the Dr. Seuss stuff. That they haven't been like, oh, we should do a Dr. Seuss universe.
Oh, they do. The new one is that.
Is that what the new one is?
Oh, you haven't seen the trailer for the new Cat in the Hat?
I saw it, but it's just the Cat in the Hat.
No, it's got a bunch of Dr. Seuss characters running around. Like it's like a Dr. Seuss Central that he goes to.
But they're all like Cat in the Hat. They're not characters from other Dr. Seuss.
I think the premise is that there's characters from the Dr. Seuss verse in there.
Yeah, there? Okay.
I think that's the deal. I mean, that is the worst trailer I have seen in a long time.
Oh, it's horrific.
I think I said it before on the show, but I think Dr. Seuss, if he was alive today, would strap on a suicide vest and go to Warner Brothers.
He would not be happy.
It's all fart jokes. It's like, what the fuck? Like, Bill Hader, what are you doing? For Cat in the Hat,
collecting that
fart
paycheck.
jokes? Jesus Christ.
Collecting that paycheck knowing it won't blow back on him because you never see his face. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
The same as how he did the Mr. Peanut, even though he's deathly allergic to peanuts. So, you know.
All right, what's our next letter?
Dan Hall asks, do either of you have recommendations for nonfiction books on the history of comics? I'd love an in-depth biography of Stan, Jack, or their contemporaries, but there seem to be fewer around than you would think.
Yeah, I actually looked this up yesterday. I mean, I know I have some, like I always have to remember, like I always forget like stuff. I don't have a good memory for, the Stan and Jack. I don't have as much. There's the Mark Evanier book, Kirby King of Comics. But I'm assuming that he probably has read that on the tone of this. I mean, I really like the 10-Cent Plague. Really like that one. And that one's about the 50s comic books and the Kefauver, not Kefauver, was it Kefauver? No. Who was the doctor?
Wortham.
About all that stuff. It's a really good in-depth book, and it goes really deep.
Graphic novel about Wortham that just came out. I want to read.
Yeah. Marvel Comics: The Untold Story is kind of like one of the foundational books I think you should read if you're interested in comics history. Rob Liefeld hates it.
Yes.
He will always say how much he doesn't like it. He feels it's unfair and wrong. Men of Tomorrow is pretty good. That's a Gerard Jones book. And, I mean, that's like the ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
Probably not in print anymore.
You don't think so? Is that the same Gerard Jones?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe so.
That's crazy.
I mean, I know he wrote novels as well and stuff, so.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it, you know what? You can get it on a Kindle for $13.99.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it turns out the guy's a pedophile, so I didn't realize it was the same guy. It's got 4.
I appreciate your innocence that you're like, surely it's a different Gerard Jones.
I was like, yeah, that's like an interesting coincidence, but I can't imagine
that a guy who wrote a book about comics is got the same name as a well-known comic book writer who also happens to be a pedophile.
I honestly had no. Wow, I just didn't connect it. Yeah, he's a pedophile. Yeah. Is he dead now?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's out of prison.
He is out of prison.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, take that into account. I read the book, fucking 10 years ago when it came out. No, more than 10 years ago. I read that book like 20 years ago when it came out. So I remember liking it then. I don't think I knew he was a pedophile at the time.
No, at that time we did not know.
Okay. Well, yeah.
10 years ago, we knew.
Okay, so yeah, the book came out. I'm looking here on Amazon in 2004. Yeah. So that would have been when I read it. And, yeah. So.
There you go. Those are good. I would also suggest Forgotten All-Star, a biography of Gardner Fox. Okay. I just read that recently. It's
I haven't read that.
It's interesting. You get to find out that one of his ancestors was killed at the Salem witch trials. So
I love
pretty wild.
when biographies are like, it's the year 1100, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm reading a biography of a movie star right now.
Yeah.
The Vikings are descending upon Britain, and thus bringing together the bloodlines that would one day produce Tom Cruise. Like, I love when they do
Yeah.
that.
There amongst them is, Viking chief Ungerd Ennis. His raping and pillaging would one day lead to Garth Ennis.
That actually feels like Garth Ennis would love that backstory.
Yeah, you'd be like, that's great.
Any other books you can think of?
Not off the top of my head. I was thinking about it earlier. Like, there's a lot of books about comics, but most of the ones I've read are not very good.
Yeah, nobody's doing really good. A lot of really good scholarly work on it.
No.
I mean, again, 10 Cent Plague is really good.
Chip Kid's got like one or two, I think, if I remember correctly, that are good. And then, Grant Morrison's book is good.
Yeah, is Grant Morrison's book not like feeling modern anymore? It came out so long ago.
Well, it's part biography, part delving into comics and
It's
why
not just
these characters last and whatnot.
Well, it's about analysis, right? I mean, that's the thing. So I'm just kind of curious if it still holds up because it felt really of the moment when it came out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. I haven't read it since it came out.
I think it still holds up.
I mean, that makes sense that it would.
I read it a couple of years ago, and I think it holds up still. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. There's a book about the history of Wonder Woman that I haven't read. But most of the books that you're going to find that are like nonfiction books, not graphic novels, are going to kind of be about like the 30s through the 50s. That seems to be the era that people write books about, as opposed to any time all that much later.
I think we'll start seeing ones going into like 60s, 70s. Now, as those creators die out, it's a little easier to write books about them.
I think it's important too. I mean, Dan obviously, I'm sure, knows this book, owns this book, but for everybody else listening who maybe doesn't, probably the most important book about comics that you can ever own is Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud.
Yeah.
It is the foundational text to understand how comics work, and I think that everybody who likes comics should own that.
Yeah. It's not exactly about the history. I mean,
it's not a history. It's like a history, but like back to ancient Egypt history,
like to how
sequential storytelling
sequential
works.
art started.
But like it's
book.
It's not quite what he's asking about, but I think that anybody who's interested in comics and interested in reading more about comics, that is, I think, a book that should be in everybody's library.
Yeah.
It will help you understand how comics work in a way that you did not know you needed to know. Like, it's pretty incredible. Changed my entire way of looking at comic books.
Yeah, it's a great book. Great book. Shockingly, I can't think of any good books about like the history of DC Comics, because there's a lot of crazy stuff in that history.
Yeah, I can't think of any either. I was looking too. I was like, can I find something that I haven't even read that like but no, I can't. Nothing. Yeah. Oh, well, is that it for letters?
That's the letters.
Where can people send their letters if they want to get their questions answered?
They can send them to ask.cinema.sanga@gmail.com. In the subject line, put the name of the show you want, Marvel Vision or Bad Batch. And then one question per email, please. Thank you.
All right. Are you ready to talk about the season and probably series finale of Peacemaker?
I think it's definitely the series finale. They
I
said...
but he could. I mean, I feel like it's the series finale because nobody's watching it.
I feel like even the way the show ended, well, the first ending, it feels like a thing where it's like, okay, if we do something else, it's going to be like, if we do another season, it's going to be called Checkmate.
But I think that premise came from the ratings on the first season, and the fact that he could get his own show back on the air for one more season. I think that he wrapped it up in that way and gave himself a back door to do something else. But I think he probably walked into this knowing there was not going to be an interest corporate-wise in a Peacemaker season 3.
Probably, yeah.
Is my take on it. And though the thing is that if somehow this season became a smash hit, you could just call the next season Peacemaker and Checkmate or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason you couldn't do that. All right, we'll talk about that when we're doing our recap. Sound good?
Turn the CG Checkmate sign into Peacemakers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 8, Full Nelson. When I tell you that I spent this entire week trying to figure out who Nelson could be, and that I never guessed it based on who it actually was, and also the sheer disappointment.
Yeah.
Not even in terms of like, oh, I wanted a cameo, but like, oh, them? Like, it could have been anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been Charles Nelson Riley, and I would have been like, fucking, that's awesome. Like, that's great. Like, but like, oh, man.
I mean, it is the amount of like, my show, I'm doing what I want feel to it of like, why is the episode named for them? You know, there's no reason for it. Like, it's like, you know, Keith in the Night makes sense. We've been following Keith.
The argument you could make is that it is a central emotional element, and so the show opens up 1 month earlier, and it's in Big Belly Burger. And this, I want your take on this. What the fuck is this Big Belly Burger?
It's a Big Belly Burger.
They serve hard alcohol?
I guess at this one.
There
are McDonald's that serve alcohol.
Do you think that this is like a flagship, like the Taco Bell Cantina where they serve all kinds of cool stuff? Because Big Belly Burger feels like it's just a McDonald's, right? That's what it's supposed to be.
There's a bit later on when Bordeaux and Harcourt go to Big Belly Burger, and Bordeaux is like, order anything you want. I hear it's good. And Harcourt's like, well, I've been here before. And she's like, you have? It's like, it's a fucking national chain. Like, it's not very shocking that somebody has been to McDonald's, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, we have definitely seen it. Like, that's not even like taking that from the comics. There's Big Belly Burger in Metropolis on the other side of the country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a national chain.
It's not even a regional chain. It's a national chain. Yeah. So it is funny. But yeah, I don't understand why he decided to. I mean, like, do you think the Big Belly Burger was like a late addition? Like, that's a CGI sign, so you think that's a late addition to the whole thing?
No, because they built out that whole place. He talks about it on the podcast.
Oh, did that? I didn't listen to. I was so wildly disappointed in this episode that I didn't even listen to the podcast.
No, he talks about on the podcast that they built out that whole restaurant, and they had people trying to come in and like order food. So.
Well, they built out the whole interior, but does that mean they've had the big neon sign, or that big neon sign might be?
I'm guessing they had the sign or something, because he said that they. I mean, they had the sign for the one that they built for Superman. They probably just brought it over.
Yeah, I guess this one looks bigger than the one in Superman, though. That sign.
I don't know.
I will say that, you know, the thing about restaurants today is it's not unusual to see a restaurant that has no indication of what the fuck it is.
That's true.
Like, that's very common. Like, there's just like, you have no clue what the fuck is going. It might be like a symbol or something. So maybe people just saw a restaurant, like they looked through the windows and saw there was like seats and it looked a little fancier. But it's weird because the restaurant's like, it's like definitely like, I guess it's like TGI Fridays Chili's level.
I guess.
But it has those posters in the back that just don't feel congruous with it just like, it should be like bad art of some kind. So I was really, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was very confused when they got shot. I was like, very deeply like, what the fuck is happening with this Big Belly Burger? I guess canonically in headcanon we can say that this is like the Taco Bell Cantina, where you can buy liquor and they have quote unquote fancier offerings. Yeah. So Harcourt and Peacemaker are on basically a date, and he begins serenading her when some shitty fucking song comes on the radio, because I feel like the songs in season 1 were not as aggressively shitty as the songs in season 2. Am I crazy?
I would agree.
It's weird. This is like way worse music this season. This episode really solidified in my mind the problem with this season. Which is what?
This season is an and then season. Everything that happens is, and then this happens, and then this happens. But there's no flow to it. And it all comes off very strange because of that. And the music, I think, as far as like, and then this song's going to play because I like this song. But it's not, you know, and it connects, like when he explains what the song's about, it connects to what's happening in the moment, I suppose. But you shouldn't, need to stop the story so that Peacemaker can tell the audience what the song is about.
Yeah, and I feel like also this season, from listening to the podcast, it seems like he's really going heavy on like European music that people have never heard of.
A lot of like, was it Swedish bands? I think.
Well, he's really into the Swedish stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and at first, like when that first started like being brought to my attention, I was like, oh, it's a play on the Nazi planet. He's using all like Norse,
but it's not Norse stuff. Though.
No, it's not Norse stuff. But they are, they are the land of the Norse gods and blah blah blah. Like, I was like, maybe he's going like with some of that. But I don't think he's doing that. I think it's just what he's into in the moment, and it does not work that well.
I'm also going to say that it doesn't work because I don't think that Chris listens to this.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think that Chris listens to 80s and 90s music. I don't think that he has the palette that brings him to check out obscure bands from Sweden. I just don't think he's that guy. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. He's the guy that listens to Motley Crue. You know what I mean? Like in the first season, like a lot of the hair metal stuff was like identifiable, or were bands that were identifiable, and that made sense to me that Chris listened to that.
I mean, I would buy he listens to Nelson.
No, Nelson 100%. Although maybe I don't know. That's actually I
think you would.
I'm kind of like on the. I'm looking right now at the outside of Big Belly Burger. It has belly fries, and they're in a fucking McDonald's container. Like that's the sign. Like why would that be the sign on this? Oh, James Gunn, what the fuck did you do? I can't believe
the next 2.5 hours discussing the layout of Big Belly Burger.
I just honestly find it irritating. Like I just find it really honestly irritating. Like this actually feels like one of those like unnecessary crossover things. Like this could have just been a different restaurant.
Sure.
But he made a Big Belly Burger because that's the place in the DC universe, and it just doesn't feel like it fits. Anyway, they get drunk on shots, and as they're walking out, Harcourt bumps into a bald, fat guy with like a beard. He may be like biker coated a little bit, and she immediately starts a fight with this guy. And Chris gets in the middle. It's like, hey.
That guy has a good line that I liked.
Which is what? Oh, my
mama taught me to be proud of my freckles.
Yes, it's really good. That's the kind of James Gunn writing I like, by the way.
That's the thing with this episode. There's a lot in this episode I do not like at all.
Yeah.
And then there are things in it where I'm like, oh my God, this is genius and great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really like, it bugs me.
Yeah, Harcourt's like, why would you fucking think you need to protect me? He goes, I'm not protecting you, I'm protecting that guy. Like, that you're going to fuck that guy up, and that was going to ruin this whole night. And then they go down the boardwalk, I guess.
Well, wait, before that is a moment. This is something I would have done in the stupid short movies I made in college, because I would think it's funny and nobody would get the joke. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke or if it's just bad filmmaking. They're at the steps and he says that, where he's like, I was protecting him from you. He's like, don't let this ruin the night. And he says, look at the moon. Look at the stars. The camera pans up to a shot with no moon.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to do.
I'm going to tell you something. Actually, I got real nitpicky on this episode real early, which is that they're standing directly underneath the light. They could not see those stars. There's just no, which is fine. I get it. But like, I was like, oh, come on. I noticed there was no moon. I'm like, oh, they can't see the stars. So they walk down the board. I don't know, what is it? The boardwalk, the river walk.
Yeah, it's like a river walk, I guess.
Yeah. And so he's saying nice things about her, and she doesn't know how to like sort of take it, and they're like vibing, and they're
talking about
Vigilante, and how Vigilante is like in love with Chris, and Chris is like, no, I just think that his brother was mean to him, and now he has a big brother. And Gunn had said that he had originally planned to put the brother in this season. And I'm going to tell you something. He should have, because my big complaint has been that these characters have nothing, and giving some storyline to the other characters. Like, this ends up being a weird finale because the characters had nothing all season, and then this episode is so heavily focused on the side characters because it has to wrap them up and give them something that should have been happening throughout the season. I'm not upset this is an epilogue. I like when TV shows do epilogues. I like when I think there's no way I think you could watch last episode and think we're like headed like that story ended. Like that piece of it, like with the Nazi Earth, that clearly ended. And so this is wrapping up the epilogue. This is character. This is other stuff. So I don't mind that. But like, it is kind of one of those things where I'm like, man, like you could have given these people stuff to do. There's like, there's like stuff here, and they, they deal with it. I don't know. Anyway, they're walking down the Riverwalk, and Chris sees something, and he is blown away by it, and it is a rock and roll cruise on which Nelson is playing. And so he manages to drag Harcourt over to the Nelson concert. And
for a moment, I thought they were back on Earth too, because it's just all white guys. And I was like, oh no, it's a Nelson concert. That's all. So good job on the extras casting on that.
Yeah. The Nelson thing, like, honestly, like, sucks. I don't like Nelson. I
don't like Nelson.
Deeply don't like Nelson.
This is my biggest problem with this scene. This whole sequence should have been the opening of the first episode.
Oh,
there's no reason to keep it secret of like what happened on the boat, and more so because this episode essentially ends on that boat. We now just have this episode giving us 2 concerts on this boat, where if you bookended the season, they are apart. This boat is a big part of what has pulled Harcourt and Chris apart. At the end of the season, we see them on the boat again, coming together.
Well, I'll tell you something, is that I said this last episode, is that this season has been too reveal reliant. And that's the reveal, because he wanted us to spend the whole season thinking they boned. Yeah. And all they did was kiss, it turns out. And but he spent the whole season wanting us to think that. So then when the reveal happened, we go, oh, wow. But the whole season is
that they keep calling it a party boat. It's not a party boat. This is not a party boat.
Why is that not a party boat?
Because it's called a rock cruise. It's on the fucking thing.
I know, but that's a party boat. Like, you're getting drunk on a boat. They're probably sailing around the fucking bay. I
don't think they leave the dock.
Well, that's because they couldn't afford to take the fucking ship off the dock on the show. That's why.
Probably easier to film that way too if you just stay on the dock.
So we see Peacemaker in prison, and he gets visited by the guard. The guard is like, "Hey, here's a bunch of people that want to come visit you." And Peacemaker's like, "No, wait, I don't want to see them." Guard's like, "Why, man? Prisoners love seeing people." And he goes, "No, I'm the angel of death." And that. It's kind of too bad that he gets out of prison so quickly, because the guy walks in and goes, we got the death angel over here. And I kind of wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit more of the guards giving him a hard time. Yeah.
Here's my question. Why is he in jail?
Unauthorized ownership of an interdimensional portal.
Why? Let me rephrase that. Why would Rick Flag Sr. hand him over to the local police?
We don't know that that's the local police.
It's 100% not Argus. Look at the fucking jail cell. He uses a key to open up the door. Like a key. Not like a key card. A key. Yeah. It's like an old-timey Old West jail cell. And considering the last time they had Chris, they were forced to let him go because Economos put him in the system. Just disappear him. You're fucking Argus. Disappear him. But you can't, because then you don't have and then they bail him out.
Well, I would say that maybe the reason why is because he knows that these people went to go to the Nazi world to get him back, and that disappearing him is going to just lead to more trouble. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like he has the case that he owned an unauthorized dimensional portal, which is clearly, there's a law in the books about it, which I'm fine with. It's a superhero universe.
Yeah. That's fine.
So I'm assuming that
he was trying to get away, right? Like, he was arrested, he was booked, he was let out on his own recognizance, and then he tried to escape to another reality.
He was skipped out.
Now. Yeah.
So I mean, that's fine. And giving him to the local authorities, I think that Argus doesn't have technical ability to hold regular people. Chris has no powers.
I mean, he was part of Suicide Squad, so they were able to hold him at some point.
So the Suicide Squad thing, I'm just going to say that if they could track his chip this entire time, big elements of this program.
Yeah. I have that in my notes too. Like, why bring that up? Because it's fucking insane that you're doing this.
Yeah, it's a little bonkers.
They needed 3 different ways to track this guy, apparently.
Do you know what would have been a fun way to have that be? Is that Chris brought his Earth X cell phone with him, and that it creates a weird signal when it pings a local tower, and that's how they find him.
Okay.
Because then when they go, look, can you activate the tracking on Peacemaker? It's like, oh, well, why did they have to set up a sting? Like, they knew they couldn't find where his thing was. But if you could just track him, you could see that he goes to the same place a couple of times. Like,
yeah.
Or you track him and he goes someplace and disappears out of it. You can probably make an educated guess that might be where the door is. Like,
well, I mean, we've run into this multiple times. Like, you know, there's the bit in a previous episode when the episode where him and Judomaster go through the portal, where they have Judomaster trail him,
right?
And then Judomaster calls and is like, "I found him. He's at this place." And Flurry's like, "Yeah, we got a drone looking right over it." And it's like, what the fuck did you need Judomaster for then if you got a drone following him?
I think what's really interesting is that this season's a really good example of you can play fast and loose with this stuff if everything surrounding it's really good. Like, you don't care. But I think once you realize that things are, like, not as strong, you begin to actually dive into that stuff. There's, like, space to dive into it. We cut to the Sidney Happerson, the Luthor place. What do we call this thing? The Luthor place. What do we call this?
Luthor's ship.
Luthor's ship.
If it's a ship, it flies around.
And they have a door set up there, and Argus is there monitoring everything. They're sending people in. They're tied together. They're wearing red hazard suits, and they send them in with Harcourt and Flurry and Judomaster, who, by the way, is wearing his mask underneath his helmet. Perfect.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely love that we never see Judomaster out of costume.
Never once.
Ever.
Not once. Yeah.
Amazing. Love it.
I would like to see a scene where Judomaster is like coming out of the shower and has like a towel around his waist and he has the mask on. That would fucking kill me. Yeah. By the way, he did a spread in some magazine. That man is God's perfect twink. It is unreal, this guy's body. It is crazy.
It's wild. I saw that. Yeah.
It's not like big. It's like lithe and like slim and just like perfect. It's nuts. This guy must do very well for himself.
Yeah.
In the romance category,
you can buy his pottery. He makes pottery.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's right. I might.
It's pretty good. I looked at his stuff.
Is it really expensive?
No, it's on like Etsy. He's got like an Etsy shop. So you can go on there and buy his stuff.
That's fun. So
no Peacemaker related stuff though.
No, I think that. No, I think he's probably making enough money on this that he doesn't want to. That's like when he's reduced to doing personal appearances at conventions. That's when he'll begin doing Peacemaker.
I mean, is it reduced these days?
Well, I feel like because the thing with him is that he told this story on the last episode of the Peacemaker podcast that he was prepared. He had like. He sold money down on a house. He sold his house, and then this was the job he got right before he quit acting. And so I suspect that as that kind of a person who was in that headspace, I think that he might want to see himself as an actor. The pottery, obviously, he was going to go teach pottery making, I think.
I think that's just something he loves to do.
He loves doing, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's in a rush to get to that part of being an actor. Do you know what I mean? Like where you're going to go to do conventions and sit there for 6 hours signing autographs
But I mean, everyone does them now. Like,
no, I know everyone does it, but I think that he's new enough to this thing, and like his career just got revived that I could see there being a pride element to it. Like, I can
definitely see his agent being like, "You're missing out on money." Like,
oh yeah, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So everybody goes through this door, and we see that Economos is like monitoring them, but as soon as they step through the door, everybody gets lost. They have he's yelling at Rick Flag, and he says to Sasha Bordeaux, "Your boyfriend's a dickhead," and she says he's not my boyfriend. This is a really good example, by the way, of why this season needed subplots, because Sasha Bordeaux goes from flirting with him a couple episodes ago to now she hates his guts, and like it's just such a huge leap. Like it would have been we've had a lot of time.
This is something I have here in my notes. All of this, them searching through the quantum unfolding chamber, should have started 2 or 3 episodes ago. It shouldn't just be a music montage of them in the room with the computers goofing around and having fun while these agents are getting killed. It should have been a couple of episodes where we keep coming back to this and we see Flurry and Sasha doing these, people getting killed, Flag and Luther's guys not really caring and goofing about, and see them like lose faith in Flag, kind of, or like get like angry about it, so that at the end of this episode, when they're hanging out with, the 11th Street kids, you're like, yeah, I get it.
Right.
We're here.
I
It
don't
feels
know if
rushed,
it's
like,
two
oh,
or
we should have
three.
done this. We should have done this.
I don't know if it's two or three
that,
episodes.
it wouldn't
because I
be
think
full.
that we would be no, I know, but I think we would be like really irritated if they just kept cutting to this and was like, okay, we get it, they're exploring. I think that we would. I mean, so I think that structurally, there's a lot that's going on with this season that I think doesn't 100% work. But I don't know that would have made a difference.
I think just seeing like
I think just having the characters have to deal with Flag the rest of the season, and for Sacha Bordeaux to realize that this guy is on a fucking revenge trip, and that like what she thought was cool because he was so strong actually is super fucking weak, that he can't let this shit go, and also begin to piece together that he's got like kind of an evil plan. Like that could have been, this season loves reveals, could have been a reveal in this episode.
Well, it is a reveal in this episode.
But I'm saying, the thing is that like it's a reveal, but like it's a reveal from the beginning of the episode. It isn't like it's a reveal from.
It's brought up throughout the season. He talks about like what we're doing is very important to the world and blah blah blah.
I think the problem is the way that Gunn writes that stuff is that it feels like he's making excuses to kill Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that we needed more subtlety in that, where we could begin thinking he's making excuses, and then over the course of the season begin to realize there actually is some reason why this is important, and then to begin to realize what it's evil. And I think that we had more than enough space to do that kind of a thing, and not reveal what the plan is, but start to realize like, oh, he's got like a plan. There's like a thing he's doing here. Like, that's not clear until this episode that he has a plan. Like, it's just not 100% clear. In fact, last episode, the character's like, I don't know, what do you think he's doing? Like, it's like one of those things where you're like, oh, we should be like playing that guessing game a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah.
We get a montage, essentially a montage of these folks going into different rooms. Did you like Fleury being such a huge asshole here?
With the story?
Yeah.
I did. I'll tell you why.
I think he's too big an asshole.
Well, I'll tell you why I like it. Because of how it ends up.
No, I know, and I think that's like a little pat how it ends up, but like I think he's too big of an asshole here.
No, I don't think he's too big of an asshole here. He's telling an embarrassing story, and it's a funny story, and I think it fits his character, and I think it's a good because he tells the story of Cupid doll puking on a stripper. And then they go into the little Candyland world, and they get attacked by the imps, and Cupid doll's face gets torn apart, and he dies, and Fleury freaks out about it. And I think it's a good bit to show, like, he goofs around with these people, but he does care, and it connects back to, like, when he told Economos, hey, what you did the right thing, and, like, we see throughout it that Fleury's a goofball and kind of a dick, but he's not an asshole.
So I think he's an asshole, and I think that this makes him an asshole because I don't think this is goofing around. I think this is bullying. Like, I think it's bullying. I think in previous episodes, my take on Fleury was that he was a guy who his sense of humor just didn't work with other people, or like he was like sort of like unaware, or like just didn't realize that how much he was actually annoying everybody. But this is like pretty extreme.
He's essentially what Peacemaker was in season 1.
Yeah. I don't know. This just felt really mean to me.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it felt really. I mean, it was funny. Like I was laughing at it, but I was also like, this really just made him really mean. Like in a way that I'm kind of like I don't know. I don't know why this one hit me that hard, but it just felt like I think it's because everybody's like, shut the fuck up. Like we don't want to hear this.
Hardcore's like, I got to hear this story.
Well, at one point she does, but then she immediately regrets it.
Yeah, once he says what the ending was, she's like, I wish I didn't know that. Yeah, but
her response also didn't track for me, by the way. It wasn't that bad. He threw up on somebody. That's not that bad. That's a funny story.
Yeah.
So they open up the door to Candyland. They go in. There's these little imps, and they immediately begin attacking them. I am going to call right now. I want everybody in Hollywood to heed my word. I'm calling time of death on cute little creature that has big fangs and ends up killing you. It's done. We're finished. We did it. We're done with
it. It's exhausting.
And the second that happened, it was so obvious that's where that was going to go that it almost had no impact at all.
Yeah.
It almost had no impact at all. And I mean, like, if maybe the creatures had, like, done something cute to kill them, like turn them into, like, gingerbread people or something like that, I could go with that. but it's just they're cute. Oh my god, they're eating his face off.
Yeah.
I've done that. This is the kind of thing that James Gunn writes in his sleep. Like, this is not like a great premise here. And I think that it would have been more fun. I mean, it'd been more fun if it turns out that like these creatures turn people into all the candy that's like dotting the landscape.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
like,
fun.
you know what I mean? Like, make it a little bit more fantastical. I mean, I know that he loves to do like the gore. I love the gore. I love seeing that guy's face off and the blood pooling in his mouth.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. But with that concept of what you said, maybe go a little more Willy Wonka with it.
Yeah,
like have them in there, right? Flurry's like, oh, the weather. It's what did he say? It's like 50 degrees. It's gravity similar to Earth. Like have him be like, oh, it's oxygen. Have QB Doll take off his helmet and pick up like a piece of candy that's growing out of the ground and take a bite out of it and then starts turning into candy, right? And something like that happens instead.
I actually wouldn't even mind if they just did a fucking alien. He eats a piece of candy and then the fucking imp blows out of his stomach. Like I would even be okay with that. It's just the little creatures that suddenly have big fangs that jump on you and eat you. We've just seen it so many times.
Yeah,
there's also
I would say it died with that. What's the not Star Trek movie? Space. You know what I'm talking about. With Sigourney Weaver.
Spaceballs?
No, with Star Trek, not Star Wars. With Sigourney Weaver and...
Oh, Galaxy Quest? No,
Galaxy Quest.
That sort of introduced
That's when it should have died. Because it was done.
I know.
It was done well.
I know.
That's it.
That's how you always are like that. And it's like funny to watch them kill these little imps. Like it's like funny.
I like the noise it makes when they blow up.
They have like fairy dust come out of them. But like... there's a question that's raised here for me, which is that when the imps attack, the door slams shut and they can't open it anymore.
The imps are blocking the door. Yeah.
So they close the door. Okay, I guess I just missed that.
Yeah, they show the imps pushing.
I guess I just missed it. I missed it. I'm only watching it right now here right on the TV next to my monitor. So what do you expect from me?
This scene also has a great line though, which is when the imps first attack and they all get taken down. And then Harcourt looks before the door closes, looks and says, "Pull, titties, pull," which is very funny. Anytime, I'm sorry, somebody's nickname being titties and people having to say it in earnest.
No, that's good. I mean, the thing is that this episode, I do not like this episode. However, there are many parts of this episode that I quite like. Like that's the thing. So, so we see this guy die, and it becomes pretty clear that like this is fucked up. And Titties is really upset. She comes out like he's fucking dead, got his face eaten off, and fucking Flag shrugs.
Yeah.
So we had talked a bunch earlier in this season about how it felt important that he was going to probably turn Flag, not have a full heel turn. He has a complete heel turn. There's just
he's a fucking evil person.
He's a monster at the end of this.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's intending to do with this character moving forward.
I think he's going to be a bad guy. Is the feeling I got from this.
They're doing Creature Commando season 2. Like, I don't understand how that.
Well, after watching this, and a lot of people online, on like the Reddit and whatnot, have been like he's such a different character here than he was in Creature Commandos.
Oh yeah.
He's not. In Creature Commandos, he has no interest talking to any of them. He has no interest knowing who any of them are. He instantly goes off and is like, I'm going to get laid, and I don't care about the mission. He's not good at these things. And he never pays attention to them. He doesn't care when any of them get killed. He's just like, whatever, I don't give a shit. They're monsters. Like, this is who he is.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's a little more heroic in that show, though. Like, he does, like... he is so deeply unlikable in this episode, especially in that montage where they're all laughing all the time, and he's laughing with villains, like characters who are established as villains, that I find it challenging. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I don't understand what's happening with this character here. That seems like so much higher up on the bad guy scale than like morally gray guy who's mission oriented, yada yada yada, which is what I thought he was.
Yeah.
You know, like and maybe being a little bit consumed by vengeance or whatever. But that is just like that's just a piece of shit behavior. Yeah. So
I do appreciate that a couple of times Otis comes up to remind us that Lex Luthor's around, but they can't afford him for 2 episodes.
So we cut to Economos and Harcourt talking about what's going on in this QUC, like what's the deal. And Economos is looking all over the house for Eagly, and he finds Eagly in the bathroom, and Eagly's been hiding ever since Chris went to prison.
He's in like the utility closet.
It's a utility closet? And so he's going to get some...
Also to note, Economos has 2 fridges in his house. He has one in the kitchen and then one in the living room. And I found that very interesting. And the one in the living room is clearly new. And I was like, this is a guy who figured it out. Like,
if the
his house
character
is
you
huge,
most,
by the way.
if this is the character you most identify with as Economos on this show, we have to talk a little bit.
No, but like the idea of like he's like, I'm gonna have 2 fridges. One of them's gonna be in the living room. I don't know what he keeps in there, but
He keeps beers and shit. I mean, that's a real man cave thing.
But it's like it's a
full size.
It's a 2-door, like open 2-door fridge, where the one in the kitchen is like an older common fridge, right, with the 1 door kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like he's got a big fridge in the living room. Like I rewound it because I was like, wait a minute, they were just in the kitchen. Why is this also the kitchen? And I was like, no, that's his living room. He's got a second fridge. I want to know the story behind that decision in the building out of his home. His home is huge, too.
It is a big house. So we cut to Vigilante's basement. His mom is knocking on his secret door, and Adebayo is there to see Vigilante. Vigilante goes ham on his mom, much to Leota's displeasure. See, this is the kind of stuff, by the way, that, like, this is good character stuff, and it's the stuff that I think this season's been lacking a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like there's been character stuff for Chris, but like I don't think anybody else has had significant good characters.
Harcourt's had good stuff. This scene and the scene later on that Leota talks to Chris are the 2 "there you are, Peter" moments for Adebayo, who had nothing to do the whole season.
Nothing to do the whole season.
Yeah.
And I'm very torn about the decision that she makes with her wife. We'll talk about that when that gets there. So she comes to talk to Vigilante. She's like, we got to help Chris get out of jail. He won't, he doesn't want to, he needs to get a lawyer. We need to do all this stuff for him. And Vigilante's like, well, you should do a prison break. And he's like, no, I don't want to do a prison break. Well, how about we just threaten the judge's kids? And she's like, no. So she wants to use the money that he has to bail Peacemaker out, and Vigilante's like, no way, like this is blood money, it's cursed, we'll be cursed, like this will. And she's like, oh, I thought you were a better friend to Chris. This is really good, by the way. This is again
great.
Really good character stuff where she understands Vigilante enough to understand how to reverse psychology him to like, oh, I guess that you're not willing to take on a curse for Chris because I am, and that really helps flip it like in a big way. And so because she tries first, like, what if we take this money and do something good with it, and that doesn't, be like, oh, I guess you're not a good enough friend to Chris. I guess I'm willing to take on a curse for Chris, but you're not. And so
that's great. I love it.
It's really good. It's really, really good character stuff. And it's a reminder of what I liked about this show in the first season a lot.
Yeah.
That I did not get as much of in this season. That I felt really missing. So she convinces him to use the money, and they're going to go bail Chris out. We see that Eagly is out of the closet. He is eating some food from Economos. And Economos opens the door, and it's Chris. We had seen that Chris got bailed out, and he wanted to not go, and that the guard's like, no, that's not how it works. You got to get out of here, man. You can't stay here anymore. And so Chris shows up at the door, and he's like, hey, I'm here to get Eagly, and I'm leaving town. I'm out of here. And then we cut to the gang being like, wait, you just let him leave? And Economos was like, well, I must have fucking tackled this guy. And the Vigilante's like, yes, what the fuck's wrong with you? I really like Vigilante's stuff in this scene too, because they're like, we can't find him anywhere. He's like, I went to the retro arcade, he wasn't there. And Carmel's like, do you think he hangs out at the retro arcade? And he goes, no, I just wanted to play games. I want to play Frogger. Dude, what is your damage today? It's so fucking great.
Vigilante's always great.
He's like the best character on the show. Him and Judomaster are the 2 best characters. I mean, like, hands down, 100%.
And Flurry.
So this is when they come up with the idea of tracking him through the chip, which I think is just fundamentally season smashing in some certain ways.
It's such a weird thing to suddenly bring up.
Yeah, and it's a thing that, like, if they wanted to, like, bring it up earlier and say, oh, we can't do it for this, and this reason, that would have been fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, give me the reason. Like, tell me, why you don't want to do it that way.
Also, there's a real easy... but again, this is an and-then thing. It's like, okay, and then they're going to do this, and then they're going to do that. And there's no thinking or no cohesive format to it. Where to me, you're missing out on a good joke and a good way to do it. Where they're all like, well, there's no way we can find him. You know, he's off the grid. What are we going to do? And just have Vigilante be like, well, we can track his phone. And like, how? He's like, well, I always know where his phone is. Like, I have it on my phone. I always know where he is. Right. And they could be like, why? He's like, because he's my best friend. Yeah. And there you go. Like,
I mean, they wanted
Vigilante's format.
They wanted to do what they do. They wanted to have that moment where they have to get on the thing, and like, but I don't think that moment works, frankly.
It makes absolutely no sense because they're like, oh, you got to make sure that he doesn't know we're on his computer. Do that by standing right next to his computer and keep saying his name so he'll look over here. Like,
no, it makes no sense at all.
Go to the other side of the room or something. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I kind of feel like also. I mean, we'll talk about that when we get there. But we also have. So we have. We see Rick Flag is getting like notes back from Lex Luthor, and it says looks promising on a picture of the black hole that they fell into, which I don't, but they're like high fiving. The Argus people are high fiving. They're very, very excited. They're doing well. We don't. I don't think we get. We get to the coke. We had we have one of the many montages in this where we have Chris at the motel. We have them doing coke. I kind of didn't like that either.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. Like, this is not a moral thing at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. I think it's funny that they're doing coke and pounding chests and stuff like that. I just don't think I believe Rick Flag lets them do that. I just kind of don't buy it. I just seriously don't buy it.
No.
Because Sydney's still a fucking prisoner.
Yeah.
Like, they're being nice and letting him wear, like, street clothes, but, like, he's still a prisoner. Like, I just don't buy it.
Well, they bring him to the Pentagon. Like, what the fuck is Sydney doing at the Pentagon? What is that all about? You bring Lex Luthor to the Pentagon with you to sell your plan.
I mean, they could not,
but yeah, Lex.
Let's hope we do one scene. That was the scene they decided. We see a couple different worlds. We see Screaming Skull World. We see Zombie World.
Is it a Puritan zombie world?
Is it? It is a Puritan zombie world. Yeah. Yeah. That's like fun, I guess. And it's like part of this big montage. Like, one of the guys gets bit. They have to shoot him in the head. And we have this whole thing. And the whole time, like you said, over in Argus, they're just fucking clapping as we see everybody like freaking out. We montage Sasha Bordeaux's feelings because she's laying in bed next to Rick Flag and she's stiff and like staring at the ceiling. Yeah. Instead of actually giving her a story in the season. We just montage our way through it. We have Peacemaker hanging out in front of the motel he's at. He's smoking some dope. And we just keep seeing so many dead bodies come out of these doors. And nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody understands why this is important. And again, like, it's just, I mean, like, it's so despicable that, like, I think Rick Flag is ruined for me as a character.
He's pretty hard to root for him.
It's impossible to root for him. Not even root for him, but to even be interested in him anymore. Like, I want him to die now. Like, I want him to.
Oh yeah, I'm interested in him as a villain. Sure.
I don't think I'm even interested in him as a villain at this point.
No.
Like, I just find him despicable. Like, I don't find him enjoyable in any way. Like, I was never that big on him in the first place. This is just like, ugh, because I'm like, Frank Grillo's fine or whatever. I like Frank Grillo enough. But like, he's a real one-note actor, frankly. And so it wasn't like that super interesting. Anyway, Harcourt and the team find a world that's beautiful. It's temperate. They can take their helmets off. They take pictures. This is the one. This is the one they've been looking for. So Harcourt delivers the stuff to Flag, and he's pretty fucking excited. While by the way, the song that's playing over all of this is "You're Fucking My Ass in the Heart." Yeah. Which is probably the best song in the episode, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, I like the Foxy Shazam song, but that's an everything.
I mean, like, I respect putting that in there. Honestly, people complained about it, but I think you need to not have Nelson. Like, I think you could have Foxy Shazam. You couldn't have Nelson. You can't have both. I think that's just... And
it's part of... He did the same thing in the first season, where the song that was used in the opening dance number comes in at the end for their like montage, like we're a team, we're doing stuff thing. So yeah, I don't mind that.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I think that's fine, and I'm all about it. But I think you just can't have the two different scenes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you can only have one concert scene.
Well, that's why I'm saying that the Nelson stuff should have been in the first
Yeah,
episode.
you're right.
You know,
We cut to the Pentagon where Rick Flag has brought Luthor's henchmen to talk to the SecDef, and we find out what the plan is here. He's found a planet called Salvation, and they're going to put all of the metahumans there.
yep.
He doesn't seem to be making much of a distinction between good and bad ones.
No.
So, and
this I like because Bordeaux Sasha is a metahuman.
yeah.
So this is where she's like, oh, this is very bad. And
I mean,
it's also an interesting thing that here we have Flag, who's like, the metahumans are the worst thing in the universe. I'm going to have sex with them if they're hot, though, which is a very common thing with people who are xenophobic or racist.
So I'm going to say something about this, which is that I think the definition of metahuman that James Gunn is using is too broad.
I don't disagree. It's
because she's a cyborg. Like, she got into an accident and they put fucking technology into her. Like, technically, to somebody with an artificial heart, are they a metahuman? Like, I don't understand like where that line gets drawn when it comes to that kind of a thing. In a science fiction-y world where you can do cyborgization, like, is that really being a metahuman? Like, you're an enhanced human. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is a problem in the comics as well. That like they just call like everybody a metahuman now, and it's like they're they're not. So a lot of them aren't like they'll call Superman a metahuman. It's like he's not. He's an alien.
right. Yeah, I mean, like, even in the comics, there's like a meta gene. Like, that's like a thing. Like, that's like a thing in...
Yeah, that's how they started. But now they just call
they got
everyone.
rid of it? Okay.
No, that's still there, but every now and then they'll just call people, like, they'll call Superman a metahuman. And it's like... I mean, it's very rare that the term metahuman shows up in the comics these days. But when it does, it's not... There's no hard and fast rule to what a metahuman is,
Because it seems to me like Flag's thing here is not that he's like a xenophobe or a racist and he's also sleeping with the people he hates. He just maybe would not classify her as a metahuman because of that, because she's just an enhanced, augmented person who had a terrible accident. Like, she didn't sit down and go, give me cyborg stuff. It was like, I'm going to die. Like, I have to become a cyborg now to survive. So I'm wondering, like, that's the thing. That doesn't sell to me as a result. Like, that idea that he's like, oh, racist sometimes will, like, that one battle after another thing where Sean Penn loves black women. Like, it just doesn't sell to me because of that. So, I don't know. They leave the meeting and they're going to go get dinner, but she doesn't want to go get dinner. And she basically kind of softly breaks up with him. And he's like, I'll see you later. She goes, maybe. And he doesn't care.
No.
He does not give the slightest shit. And so off they go. And has anybody complained about the fact that there is a sign on the Pentagon wall that says basement and has a picture of the Pentagon?
I haven't seen anyone complain, but I like that.
No, well, it's real. That's actually what is in the Pentagon. So I was like kind of curious if people were going to be like annoyed by that, and so I could show up and go, actually, they actually do have that. So we cut to Harcourt. She's still getting beat up. She can't stop doing the fights. Like, thankfully, we don't have to sit through a whole sequence of that, but like she's still getting...
She's beat up.
Yeah, Sasha Bordeaux calls, and she's like, what the fuck do you want? And they go meet at Big Belly Burger. And that's like a big moment because obviously she's returning to the scene of that evening. And so she goes in to meet with Bordeaux, and Bordeaux basically tells her what's going on.
Bordeaux's like, have you ever been to this chain restaurant? Which, I'm sorry, that line just drove me fucking crazy. I was like, come on, man. It's a fucking burger restaurant. It's not a fucking fancy spot.
I mean, I guess technically you could take somebody to Applebee's and say, hey, you ever been to Applebee's? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe people just didn't like, for me, like, one of Brittany's favorite comfort places to go was where her dad used to take her after, like, she got like a good test result or whatever, like, in school. And it was the BJ's. Which is, I think, regional. I don't even think it's national. But
we had BJ's here.
Do we? Well, like, I had never been until she took me. So, like, maybe that because it's fast casual, not as opposed to fast food. Because the fast casual is that Chili's, Applebee's, BJ's. So I guess technically it's plausible that somebody's never been to a Chili's. That seems very reasonable. In fact, actually, it doesn't even seem crazy.
I've never been to a BJ's.
Yeah,
but I know
they make these. They make these cookies in a cast iron pan, like a pizza pan. It's unreal.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's unreal. It's bonkers. Oh, man. Like, it's called the Pizookie. Just in case you weren't embarrassed enough being the most gluttonous motherfucker on earth ordering the world's biggest, thickest cookie, you have to say,
It's just for me.
can I get a Pizookie, please?
It's just for me.
So embarrassing.
Don't look at me when I eat it.
Sacha Bordeaux has this whole speech that just does not ring true because all of this character development happened during the course of a montage where she's like, I shouldn't be supporting the system anymore. It's broken. And
again, this is stuff we should have been seeing this
all season
leading up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, previously she had been like all fucking in on Rick Flag. Like there was no middle ground. She was all in on Rick Flag and whatever he was doing. She loved that he was beating up Peacemaker. And now all of a sudden she's like, oh, and I obviously part of it is personal.
It should have been Economos who kind of brings her over, like conversations between the two of them throughout the season.
It's funny, Gunn I think really fucks Economos this season.
You think so?
He has no good moment.
I disagree.
Like a heroic moment?
Yeah, he has a couple of them. He consistently is saving Chris throughout most of this. Early episodes.
I just feel like he doesn't get one in this final episode in a way that felt irritating.
He gets the Eagly moment.
Yeah, he finds Eagly in a closet, gets Eagly.
No, Eagly gives him like a half hug.
Oh yeah, but that's just that's he doesn't do anything to deserve that.
He's there for Eagly, and Eagly knows he's there for Chris too.
So we get another. In case you weren't tired of montages yet, we get another montage, and so Sacha Bordeaux is like. Convinces because Harcourt like kind of doesn't want to care, you know. She's just like depressed. She's like, whatever, not my fucking problem. And she says when Bordeaux's like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, she's like, believe me, once you're outside you're gonna wish you were back in because I've been there. It's bad. But she ends up bringing in Leota to give her.
She says that, and then she's like, oh, I forgot in the last episode I learned a lesson from Augie, from good Augie, who said I'm sure you fight every injustice that you come across. Yeah. So I have to change my mind now.
Yeah. She brings her in for a montage with Leota. Leota is going to give her a pitch. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. I really wanted this to end with Sasha and Leota owning a pet store.
Yeah?
I really wanted that.
Not Sasha.
Yeah. With the wife. I wanted the three of them to own a pet store.
Sasha's not her wife.
I know, and the wife.
Oh, okay.
Like that's why I wanted that to be the pitch. Like, because it's so obvious that the pitch is a security agency that I would have loved if it went the other way and it was like fun. And, you know, and like honestly, like I'm gonna tell you the honest to God fucking truth. Like, maybe I'm too rewrite happy over here, but like, why does Checkmate have a big sign out front? Why isn't Checkmate operating in an underground base underneath a pet store?
Well, here's my question for you. Why is it called Checkmate?
No, there's no reason. He has this whole season, and then he never once gives us a reason why they might call it Checkmate.
He said in an interview, since season 1, he knew that Leota would be the founder of Checkmate. Give me a scene of her playing chess. That's all you got to do. You got 16 hours or so, however many hours of 2 seasons. Have her mention chess. I really like
or
chess.
Like have Amanda Waller in the first season say something like Checkmate to her, like when she's like fucking her own daughter over, and then so she like repurposes it for the name of the thing. But also the thing is that if you're a comic person, I don't know if they're going to keep this premise, but Checkmate also has like a structure that's based on a chessboard. Yes. Like they have knights, kings, queens, bishops. Like I don't see these characters creating that. Like I just don't understand why they would do that.
More to it, Checkmate has that format because not everyone is supposed to know who works at Checkmate.
Right.
And they have a giant office with windows everywhere. And a big sign says, this is where we are.
Yeah.
As somebody found out and figured out on Reddit, it's an REI that they're working out of.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this, though. I think that the whole reason why he could not bring Leota and her wife together to find some common ground, like having Checkmate operate secretly underneath a pet store that the wife runs, is because he's divorced, and that whole scene feels like his divorce.
I don't disagree, but I do disagree in that scene with her wife. I think I mean, Danielle Brooks is just amazing.
She's so good. That's a part of the fucking crime of this season, by the way.
Yeah. And Elizabeth Faith Ludlow, who plays her wife, is amazing as well. They are so good in the scene together. But Leota says to her, what I want to do with my life is going to kill you. So her wife would not be able to be like, okay, we have this pet store, but underneath it, you're running a secret spy organization. It just would not work for her. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that that's not the answer.
I guess, but that's a thing that he set up.
Sure, but
if he knows that he's heading towards Checkmate the whole time, he set up a scenario where her wife and her cannot possibly be together. He did not set up a scenario where there's a way to overcome it. And again, that feels like his divorce.
Sure, probably, but
Because
I
seem
did
to
not
have
have
had
an issue with that.
I guess it was one of those.
I think at this point you're reading the artist and not the art. In this
no, I'm also reading the art because I kind of don't. I feel like Leota's arc happens in 3 scenes over the course of the season, and that's, I think, my problem. I don't think that any of that is earned. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no,
she seems like a jerk
disagree.
the whole. Like, if you were to take this whole season and just like focus on her, she's maybe a jerk to her wife, and then at the end she then dumps her wife, and it's like, wait, what? Like,
no. Her wife already dumped her at the beginning of the season.
I guess you're right, but like the way that it plays out, there's a sense that maybe they can get back together, like because
I think this connects into the bit with Judomaster in the last episode, where she's like, oh, she just won't let me, have my dream of what I want to do, and Judomaster's like, well, are you letting her have her dream?
Okay, so then here's my other solution: that they have a gazillion dollars in drug money. That final bit with Leota could have been her giving the wife money. Like, here is a way for you to start this dream. Even though our dreams are different, I want to support you in yours.
Yeah, because we see she's working like fast food.
Yeah, like, so she has all this fucking money that she spends on the biggest fucking office on Earth that has 7 people that work there, and she can't give her wife not even like $500,000, like $250,000. Like, I bet in Evergreen, Washington, that will get you a storefront and get you kicked off.
Well, her wife wants to go back to Gotham, though. In Gotham, I would imagine, if Gotham's like anything like in the comics, probably far cheaper real estate. Yeah. Since you're gonna get killed.
You're gonna get killed. Your animals are gonna get bombed. Yeah, your animals are gonna become part of some supervillain's weird fucking plot to kill
Joker's
Batman.
Gonna come in and be like, I need to make fish that look like me.
So that's the thing. I wish that had been the deal, like that she had given the money and said, like, hey, I want to support your dream, even though our dreams don't align and we can't be together anymore. I want to support it. Like, maybe I'm just being too wishy-washy with that, or too
I think
sappy.
You're being too wishy-washy on that, too sappy. I think that this all worked for me, character-wise. This all worked.
We have the lengthy fucking Nelson concert. They don't even sing their hit.
No.
By the way.
No, they sing a song from like a 2010 album, which
is everybody in that crowd gets excited about. There's no planet where that actually happens. Everybody's there to hear Signs. That's what every person in that crowd is there to hear Signs. Like, that's what 100% what the deal is.
Is that the name of that song?
Yeah. Signs everywhere, a sign, clouding up the scenery. Yeah, it's them. They covered. It's an old song they covered, and that was their big hit.
I thought wasn't their big hit like more of a acoustic thing?
That is acoustic, yeah.
Do, do, do. Like, I can't think of the song. No.
Let's look up Nelson hits.
More Than Words.
Oh, More Than Words. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's the one. I fucked up. Yeah. You're right. It's More Than Words. Yeah. That's the one that everybody's
You are not a true Nelson fan, apparently.
I am not a true Nelson fan. I hate that fucking song so much. I hate that song so much. Just absolutely despise that band, too. Those guys suck. Anyway, we have the Nelson.
Not going to get any set invites from DC Studios after this episode.
Yeah, well, I think that was not going to happen anyway. So I think I'm safe. Sorry, James. I just don't like your taste in music this season. I often like James Gunn's taste in music. This feels like a different person in a lot of ways. Like the music in this season, it feels like I keep getting served ads for like on vinyl, the Peacemaker season 2 soundtrack, and I'm like, nope, not a chance. No way. You know, like, I'm a guy that I have the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 soundtrack on cassette tape. Like the cassette tape. It looks just like the cassette tape from the movie. But I will never go near his playlists either for these. I will never go near.
The 3 songs he used in Superman were great.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 songs.
He's not, this is such a weird diversion song-wise for him. And that's the things like funny is that like what's funny about this season not really working is that the music element of it reflects that, which is that usually Gunn is like fucking spot on with the music. It's incredible. Like you always like in like you songs that like you maybe knew once but you haven't heard in a long time, or songs that you never heard but that are actually amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
And this season, he's kind of like blown the season a bit, and he really whiffed the music this season.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
I agree.
So then we have the scene of Leota telling her wife that she's going to give up, and that they're going to be apart. And again, this just really felt like. I mean, you said I'm reading too much of the artist into it, but it does really feel like, because I know they had a fairly positive breakup.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like super acrimonious. This feels like probably very similar to what.
I mean, it's Leota coming out and saying like because she's like, her wife is like, you're not gonna be able to convince me that we should get back together. And she's like, no, I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you that I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand what your issue is, and I agree. We have to move on. I have to move on from this. I think it's a really beautiful, really good scene.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm maybe I'm just too sappy. I'm too soft-hearted, but I really wanted Leo to help her wife get her dream. Like, and again, there's fundamentally no actual barrier to that within the story.
Yeah.
Like they have so much money just sitting there.
Well, maybe Kia's now gonna sue for divorce and get alimony and stuff.
Well, none of that money is. Oh, it just did a little thumbs up. None of that money is.
It approved alimony. Divorce, yay!
None of that money is going to be like listed anyplace. They're not going to. No. They're not going to declare it. Which makes me wonder how she's going to explain where the money came from to build that stuff. But whatever.
I figured I have headcanon for that.
What's your headcanon for that?
They have fucking John Economos, who was hacking into the Pentagon when he was 14. Surely he can set up fake bank accounts and stuff.
Oh, okay, good point. Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's actually very good. It would have been funny if she couldn't convince Adrian to give her money, but she shows up with a bunch of coke and is like, "You can sell this, and you can start your pet store that you always wanted."
Have you ever heard of Iran Contra? We're gonna do something like
that. We cut back to the Argus in the Luthor ship, and we have a scene that is so nonsensical that it's kind of hard. Like, it's kind of hard. I understand it's a comedy scene. Like, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. This is not me misunderstanding that it's a comedy scene. But, yeah, like you said, him standing right next to them while they're on Saperson's console to make him not realize that he's on the console, that is like... Ugh.
Well, there's two big problems with this scene, in my opinion. One, he's standing right there trying to get Happerson's attention while they're like, make sure he doesn't know we're using his console. Two, and he even says it, like, why am I the one doing this? Because also he's the fucking hacker. Like, maybe Sasha's got those skills too. She is a cyborg or whatever. I don't know. And she has clearance, so maybe that makes it a little easier. I don't know. But he's the guy in the chair. That's his entire thing.
That's his whole thing, yeah.
Why is he not in the chair?
Also, I think that the other problem with this scene, honestly, is that Gunn is too in love with it.
Yeah.
It goes on way too long.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. And there's more because it's the post-credit scene.
Well, that's the alternate take of it, and that version, I think, is better.
I actually agree. Agree. I think it also would have been better. Like, what I would have liked here was actually if Economos killed.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been nice.
Kind of what happens in the alternate one. Where he tells the joke and that woman starts laughing. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been nice because, like, I think that's the heroic moment that I wanted for him in this episode. Okay. I wanted him to be there and be like, all of a sudden he actually killed. Like, actually, everybody thought it was pretty funny, and they were kind of they were surprised that Economos is funny or whatever. Like, I thought that would have been.
The ending montage, we can see he's doing stand up now, and they're like, that's going to be his career.
So the characters find Chris because they've tracked him, and they each come in their own cars to triangulate him, and he's gonna get into his truck and get away, but then Vigilante comes running and fucking nails him and then tases the shit out of him.
That's great.
I mean, this is a good example of the stuff that's really great in this episode. This is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's 100% awesome. It's really funny. And then we have the scene where Peacemaker is like, hey, I'm the cursed, and Leota has her big talk with him.
Something I truly love in this is when he starts, it sounds like he's saying like I'm cursed, like figuratively.
Then
And then it becomes more and more clear it means literally. Like we know there's magic and shit in this universe. Yeah. There might be a curse on me. And I love that it's just kind of like a quick throwaway thing of like, yeah, maybe he's got some kind of evil curse on him. Who knows? I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, this actually is the place that Dr. Fate could have showed up, because I thought I was like, a full Nelson. That's the only Nelson I could find in DC was Kent Nelson. Yeah. And like, wouldn't it be funny if he actually does have a curse and they have to have Dr. Fate like come in and like remove it? But like, also, I actually have like a little bit of a. I mean, I guess I'm okay with him. I was like a little bit half and half about that bit where he thinks it's magic, because it's such an emotional moment.
Yeah.
That undercutting it with that he thinks it's like not him, that it's magic, I think gets away from what the emotional center of it is that he feels bad about himself.
Yeah.
And who he is, and that his friends are there to tell him, no, we love you and you're special and we think you're great and we don't think that you're dangerous. We don't think you're bad. That doesn't land as hard if he thinks that he's literally cursed. Do you know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah, I know. It worked for me.
I think Vigilante should have said that. He might be.
Yeah, Vigilante would have been a better choice. Like
he's a better choice because he's stupid, and everybody, and even Peacemaker would be like, "Give me a break."
Well, like have Peacemaker say, "I'm cursed," and have Vigilante be like, "You are? Who did it? We'll go get them." And he's like, "No, not."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, and then he'd be like, "No, but we know that there's, have you seen this guy that does the magic?" Like, but anyway, it is nice, and again, Danielle Brooks is so fucking good.
So good in this.
She is so good. I think that this season doesn't give her the things to do the whole time that I want him to do. However, this show really photographs her lovingly, like unbelievably lovingly. She looks very beautiful in so many shots. Like really, like they just like make her look amazing. Yeah. And her performance is incredible.
Just to the point of how good of an actor she is. She is crying. She is got me on the verge of crying in the scene, and one of her lines is, "I saw an eagle hug a human," which is a hilarious line. Yeah, but she plays it completely straight, and it is a emotional beat and an amazing moment. Yeah, which also goes into the writing. It's a beautifully written like speech that she has here, and she delivers it perfectly. I mean, there's a reason why she's an Academy nominated, right? Like an Oscar nominated actor, obviously. Like she's amazing. And I kind of feel bad for everyone else in the show who none of them are bad actors, but
I mean, she's a Juilliard Shakespearean actor.
You're not at her level.
Yeah, she's like next level. I think this scene, though, by the way, actually encapsulates a thing that's been going on with this whole season, which is that Gunn is writing really good scenes.
Yeah,
but that's all he's writing, kind of. He's writing good scenes.
Like I said, it's
the
whole
and
season
then.
Is and then.
Yeah, he has these great scenes, but he does not have the motor to connect the scenes together. So they pitch him basically on Checkmate here. Like, we're going to stand up for the world. We're going to be the ones that look out for people because these guys aren't looking out for people. And we really, really need you. Like, this is the shit that we really, we can't do this without you. And we have a moment and everybody's staring at him and it's very emotional. John Cena, very good this season, by the way.
He's great.
It's really important to note. Like, we're talking about Danielle Brooks a bunch, but like John Cena, like,
he crushes it.
Crushes it this season. Like, really just goes next fucking level. Yeah. And everybody leaves, and then he comes out and he has one last discussion with Harcourt. And he's like, "Hey, and what we saw in that Nelson scene that they have like a moment where they're dancing and then they kiss, and then she like freaks out.
Yeah. Probably because it is the least romantic kiss of all time.
Yeah.
There's no chemistry there.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if James Gunn's cuck fantasies would involve his wife being in love with the guy, or if she just wants to see her taken. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but he says, did it mean anything to you? I gotta know. And she's like, again with this shit? And he's like, no, I want to know. Like, not like, is there something gonna happen? She's like, I'm damaged. She goes, I don't care about that. I want to know if that meant something. And she says, yes, of course it did. It meant everything to me. And then James Gunn's like, well, you know what? What if we did a montage?
Gotta have a montage.
It's insane.
So many, like,
it's insane. He doesn't have enough story for this episode, which is why there has to be 2 full concerts and then endless montages, because he
disagree. He has too much story for this episode, which is why he has to combine the story into 2 montages because the story should have been spread out across previous episodes. And so he's got to rush through all the stuff with Argus going through the portals. He's got to rush through the team coming together and forming Checkmate. Like, a lot of this stuff should have been getting set up earlier.
Right.
And it wasn't.
We cut to a week later. They're back on the cruise ship. It's Foxy Shazam playing. This is the most annoying looking band of all time. Do you know that bit that I don't know if you've seen this. People had this one weird band where they have like it's like kind of like ska, and the lead singer's a woman, and she's like doing like this. That's what it looks like. It looks like that band. They look so fucking aggravating.
I disagree. They look like the band from G.I. Joe that like the Vipers. That's what they look like to me. And I was into it. I'm like, oh, they went to see the fucking Vipers.
They look like a fake band that a bunch of 50-year-olds made up in the 80s trying to figure out what the kids liked in the 80s. Okay, I guess that makes sense because they're doing like 80s shit, but they're all 22 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
we
then
Foxy
see
Shazam. He's definitely older than the singer. He's got to be in his 40s.
You think so?
Yeah. I would think so. I don't know,
Maybe, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I never heard of this fucking band in my whole life. And honestly, if I never hear from them again, I won't be that sad. We get the big heroic walk I will forgive it because it's good, but it is the phoniest heroic walk where they're walking down the office and everybody just keeps joining in on the sides. It's like an old sitcom bit or something like that. Yeah. And we see that the team now has Fleury on it. Sasha Bordeaux has joined, and Judomaster has joined. So that's our Checkmate. We see that that's the name of their company is Checkmate, and everybody's really happy. And they've been setting up their office, and John Economos keeps looking at Sasha Bordeaux
and touches her back.
Yeah.
I think there's something going on.
I don't know. I don't.
Or he's going to get in trouble with human resources when she says he's being creepy.
The show finally puts Fleury and Vigilante together, and it's perfect. And it's another one of those things where you're like, oh man, this could have been like happening all season. Like they're so great. They're so great. Because what's really great is that he's quizzing Vigilante on spider facts. He does not mind. Like everybody else, he's all for it. And then he begins making up spider facts to quiz him about, and it's just so fucking good. It's really, really good.
I like when he says, "What's molting?" and Vigilante's like, "It's when lava comes out of a volcano and it malts." And he goes, "Yep, that's exactly it." He laughs so hard.
It's like two confident dummies. Like it's really good. It's really, really good. They're really good together. And
I think he knows. Fleury knows what's going on. He's just
I guess he's just busting his balls kind of. He also kind of is a dummy though too a little bit. Like he's kind of like dummy adjacent Fleury.
I don't think
when he sits down at Flag's desk when Flag is like, I got to think about it.
Yes.
Like he's dummy adjacent. Like he's not like observant, maybe is the deal.
He's not observant. Yeah.
Maybe it's the deal. And so we have this whole thing. They are Checkmate. We don't understand why they're Checkmate. There's no actual reason for it to be that. We've had 2 seasons to come up with even the slightest reason that they would call it Checkmate. But no, we don't. We don't. I mean, even if they had like fucking like been using code names at some point, they start like Bishop, King, Queen, like something like that. Like, that would have been like a funny thing. Like, that's one of these characters. Like that would make a lot of sense for Adebayo to be doing this season because she's like trying to be like spy lady. Yeah. So she started calling everybody by code names. That would have kind of worked, but there's just no.
Well, have her agency that she starts be called Checkmate, and when she shows Chris the card, he could be like, "Why would you call it Checkmate?" And she's like, "Because it sounds cool and mysterious."
Well, thing is, the reason why they don't do that is because this whole season is predicated on reveals.
Yes,
that's the deal. That's the deal. It's all reveals. It has to be reveals. It can't be just things that just happen over the course of the season. Everything has to be pushed back as far as possible to be revealed. Yeah. And so we end on a happy note, except actually not, because this is not the end of the episode. We then go to Chris is back at the motel. I don't know why he's staying in the motel, but
I don't know why he didn't go home.
He gets black bagged and taken by Argus. As one of I think it was Jeffrey Loves Gnocchi on the Discord mentioned, this show managed to get a 3rd end scene that involves Argus gearing up to arrest Peacemaker. 3 times in 8 episodes, the episode ends with Argus showing up to arrest Peacemaker. It's fucking unbelievable.
Is it only 3 times?
It's Three that I can think of.
There's the one where they go to.
There's one
to his
last
house,
episode. The one where they go to his
and
house.
they fight Eagly.
Yeah.
Although they know he's not there, they see him leave.
No, the
So that's
episode
different.
before they're showing up at his house, it ends with them showing up, and then the episode begins with them. The ending is them showing up and coming out of their stuff and walking down the street. And that's like the big ending. So they don't necessarily arrest him every single time, but they show up to arrest him at the finale of 3 different episodes. This
Well, no, but in that first time they're sitting in the truck and they wait for him to leave because they want.
Yeah, it's still the same premise though. It's still fucking Argus showing up to get something from Peacemaker. Peacemaker's place. They're invading.
No, it definitely happens 3 times because there's the episode with where he gets arrested, right at the
last week.
Well, no, I was thinking of at the park.
Oh my god! So he gets arrested.
that.
He gets arrested 3 times in this season. Yeah, no, it's a lot of it.
Yeah.
They take him back to the Argus base and they throw him through the door into that planet. Peacemaker just stands on the other side of it, yelling at Flag.
He goes, "Hey, what's going on?" like, really? He's like, "Hey, Flag, what are you doing?"
Yeah, he doesn't like try to come back or whatever.
No.
Like there's no like it's kind of weird. Flag, they explained quickly that they figured out a way to set up the door so that they don't have to go through the quantum unfolding chamber anymore. They go directly into that dimension. I'm okay with that. That's totally fine to me.
That's fine.
And so he says, hey, this is going to be a prison planet that we're going to use from now on, and I want to make sure that see what it does to a human. So you're going to be my test subject. Thank you for volunteering. And they have faked paperwork that he did, in fact, volunteer. Yeah. And then he says, this is for Ricky, you piece of shit. And they close the door. Peacemaker runs at the door, and then it disappears. He doesn't go through. And then he's standing alone in this field, and we hear monsters in the distance. And that's the end of the series.
Fun fact that I guess since you didn't watch the podcast, you wouldn't know. This ending was added on because Gunn told Peter Safran about it. I was like, after he handed in the script, he's like, I had an idea I was going to end it like this, but I decided not to. And Peter Safran was like, no, you have to end it like that. Which is a good reminder. Producers should not decide how the story ends.
But the thing is that he said that this ending was what he pitched Zaslav.
The
premise of Salvation?
The premise of Salvation, which they set up earlier. But this cliffhanger ending, he was not going to have in the show originally. And then Safran's like, no, you should do that. That's a good ending. And I disagree. I think if it ended with them walking out of Checkmate, I would have much better feelings about this episode and this season.
Or just do it as a post-credit scene.
Don't do it at all.
Yeah,
don't
I get that.
End your goddamn shows on a cliffhanger and then go around in interviews and be like, I don't think we're going to do a season 3. We'll get back to this sooner or later. No, motherfucker.
No, it's Man of Tomorrow. He said this leads directly into Man of Tomorrow.
But he's also said, like, I don't know if Peacemaker will be in that, but what is happening leads into Man of Tomorrow. So he definitely knows if Peacemaker's in it or not because he wrote the goddamn script.
So I am rolling my eyes here, by the way. If people listening, I would just roll my eyes and put my head back in disgust at that.
Yeah.
He said that after this episode aired or before because he didn't want us
after
spoiling.
It was either Rolling Stone or Deadline that he got asked. And he's like, I don't know, maybe we'll see that. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to show up in Man of Tomorrow. That's not a direct quote. That's a paraphrasing.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I despise this kind of stuff. And one thing I was real excited about with the DCU was him constantly being like, no, every story is going to stand on its own, even though there is an overarching tale to be told, but you're not going to have to watch something else to understand what's happening you don't have to watch Superman to understand what's happening in Peacemaker. You don't need to watch Peacemaker to understand what's happening here. This ending on this and being like, there's not going to be another season, this has to be cleaned up in something else. And that's going to be kind of weird, I would think.
For the folks at home that don't know this, the Planet Salvation comes from DC Comics from a miniseries that nobody liked called Salvation Run that George R.R. Martin came up with the idea for, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was his idea. And he didn't write it, but it was his idea. Bill Willingham of Fables wrote it, the first 3, and then he got so annoyed that he quit. I read a thing that he wrote after this finale where he was like, yeah, George needs to get the credit because it was his idea. I came on to write it, and then I got so sick of editorial just poking in that I quit. The premise there is that, they send all of, I think it's Checkmate in that, sends all of the supervillains to this other planet, and they break up into tribes, and it's like Luthor versus the Joker and stuff like that. Gunn said that's not going to be the deal. I mean, it's not the worst story. I just think that it's kind of a weird one for like chapter 1.
I mean, it's interesting. He's setting up a thing of the metahumans versus the U.S. government, is what he's setting up, and it's interesting. I don't know how it plays out. We'll see, or maybe we won't. I don't know. Who knows? Who fucking knows,
man.
But I mean, my theory now is what's going to happen is with Man of Tomorrow. If Man of Tomorrow does have a lot of the salvation stuff, it's going to be that they send Luthor and Superman there, and then they have to find a way out. That would be my guess.
That would work. That would be interesting. I'm not really sure why
it's
that
like
wouldn't
Romancing the Stone with Lex Luthor and Superman.
I just don't know why that wouldn't be Superman 2.
I don't know why that's already a scene that happened in the first Superman, where Superman gets put into an alternate place and they have to go break him out. Like, let's do something different.
Yeah. I mean, they're establishing
characters and monsters and stuff. So
they're establishing different things. Like, this could be they're trapped on an island and Superman can't get off of this. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just, how do you get Superman trapped? Like, that's how you got to do it, kind of. What did you think of this episode?
Some of it I thought was great. Some of it I thought was fantastic. Again, Danielle Brooks just killed it. Like, she's so good, and her scene with the woman that plays her ex-wife, Elizabeth Faith Ludlow, was fantastic. Her scene, the speech that she gives to Chris in the hotel room is amazing. Like, she is the all-star MVP of the episode, of the series, of the season. She's an amazing actor. Everyone does a good job in it. It's just, I don't think it's well written. I think it's just kind of like all over the place, and there's so many things that should have been previously set up instead of, like I said, doing 2 montages to get through the setup and conclusion of those things.
So I think that the problem here is that James Gunn wrote 2 TV shows and a movie in about 2 years, and I think that's too much.
Yes, I agree.
I think that he fucked himself. I think Creature Commandos is not that good. I think this is not that good. Superman's great.
Superman's great.
Obviously, he put his most effort into Superman. That's obvious.
Yeah. And if anything, I think Creature Commandos and Peacemaker Season 2 are great examples of why TV shows have writers' rooms.
I mean, they have a writer's room for DC. He did work with a writer's room. They don't get credit, but they have a writer's room. So there are guys that are like, but I don't know how deeply involved they are in the actual writing of scripts. They're probably involved deeply in breaking story. Yeah. But I don't know how deeply they are involved in writing the scripts.
And how much are they going to say to the runner of DC Studios, like, no, your idea is bad. We should do this instead.
I think that they would do that. I think Gunn's okay with that, because
I think he is. But
one of the things that Gunn got Gunn where he was is that he's really good at taking notes.
Yes,
from execs. That he's really good at it, and so and he knows how to like maneuver within it. So I think he's open to taking ideas. Like, I think listening to him on the podcast, you can hear him talk about being open to taking other people's ideas and other people's thoughts and stuff like that. So I think that that's fine, especially with like Tom King, who's on that writer's room. Is like, okay, fine, I'll go back to fucking comic books. But would you just drop your name more? Yeah.
Tom King's writing a Archie movie, so he's doing that.
There we go. But yeah, I think Gunn needs to fucking stop controlling everything.
I agree. That's why I'm very excited to see the next year's worth of stories, right? Where we have Lanterns, which is from everyone that did Watchmen, so hopefully that'll be really good. We have Supergirl, which I'm hoping for good things from that, and then Clayface. So it's a varied group of people doing things, and he said this in an interview with Rolling Stone. They asked him about like the music, and they were like, "Well, are you overseeing the music for Supergirl?" He's like, "No. I mean, there's needle drops in Supergirl, but it's not my movie." you know, if I feel like a song that they chose it doesn't work, I'll say I disagree with this. And he's like, and that would be something where it's like, no, this is so on the nose obvious. Can we do a different thing? Can you find a different song? But I'm not choosing the music for these things, so we'll hopefully get different music. Hopefully, it won't be all Swedish bands. It'd be a nice change of pace. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know, the thing about this season is that I enjoyed watching it. Like, there was stuff that I really liked this season, but as
I
a
love
whole,
the characters.
yeah, this first season was just like heads, and also this season feels a little bit like a middle of a trilogy where everything goes bad, and then we have the third one where like the triumph happens.
Yeah.
That this kind of has that feeling to it, and I wonder if that's how he began approaching it originally or something.
Let me ask you this:
What?
What was the point of the other world being Nazis? What purpose did it serve to the story?
None, because he kept it as a reveal that he only revealed at the very end.
He kept it as a reveal, and part of it is his dad being like, by the way, I'm not a Nazi. I'm a good guy in this world. There's no reason he can't just be a good guy in a world that's not Nazis. The Nazi stuff has no push onto the story. And
But
I
the
don't
thing is,
understand.
I mean, the way that this season should have worked is that there's 3 episodes establishing that he finds this other universe. The 3 episodes in the middle is when it's revealed that it's a Nazi world, and we have story around that. Yeah. And then we can wrap that up, and then we can move into the finale, which is going to be Argus examining other worlds and the creation of Checkmate. I mean, that's how it should have been. He should not have stretched this Nazi shit for 7 episodes without revealing that it's Nazi shit for so much of it. Because again, I've said this a million times, it's too many reveals. It's too dedicated to reveals. Yeah. And that's just stuff that should have been the premise of the show. It should not have been the big shocking twisteroonie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
Well, next week we're gonna do Marvel Zombies. Are you gonna have to? We're gonna have to rewatch that, right? Because that came out a minute ago.
Yeah. I'd have to rewatch anyway. I gotta watch everything twice. Remember?
That's right. You do that. You do the two watches. I just watch it here on my TV while we're talking about it.
Never seen it before.
Never seen it. I'm live reacting to this stuff, and I have the sound off, so it's pretty exciting. I'm just reading what they're saying. So, but you know, I'm hopeful for next week's Marvel Zombies. After that, we're going to be doing Watchmen, all 9 episodes of HBO's Watchmen, which spoiler alert is kind of like a masterpiece, sort of.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in revisiting it.
So am I. I've not watched it since it originally aired.
Yeah, me neither. And the world has definitely had some real moments since then. That really makes this show feel a little more, a little less science fiction-y.
I mean, that also, not for nothing, but this season of Peacemaker, you know, they filmed it before the election and everything that's happening now, but it's hard to ignore, like, the end of the season is we're going to take these people that are different and put them on a different planet away from us. Yeah. You know, which also, plot-wise, there's a part of me that's like, I think it'd be a more interesting story if they're looking for the perfect planet for the elite to live on, because Earth is destroyed. We fucked up Earth. And we're going to find a planet where the elite, the rich, can go and live, and it's clean air and good and resources aplenty, and leave everybody else to deal with this.
I mean, so the thing is, I think that Salvation Run as a premise,
it's an interesting idea.
It's an Avengers level idea, and I think it's an Avengers level in that I think you need it's sort of like you need to have built up a universe at that point. I think you need to have a story where all these characters show up on this planet, and like we already know them and stuff, and they're gonna duke it out or whatever. And that, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's gonna do Salvation for 10 more years. I don't know. He has a 10-year plan, he said, so maybe Salvation Run happens in year 10. Maybe Peacemaker's trapped on that planet for 10 years. So maybe he decided that he didn't like John Cena kissing his wife after all.
Fuck you, Cena.
All right, we'll see you guys again next week. Until then, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be well, but most of all, may you remain a true believer.